In fact, explosions have been heard in Tehran. This is on the morning of Saturday. America says we are not involved at all, though President Biden was being briefed all the time that preparations are going on for this attack. Now, this is a very serious matter. It is a retaliation for 1st October, when Iran fired 200 missiles on Israel. So this is the promised retaliatory attack. Now, this is a very serious matter, because once Iran is attacked, if they also retaliate, it could lead to a small war in the area.
Well, these retaliatory strikes from Iran have been expected for quite some time. In fact, on October 1, Tehran had attacked with 181 ballistic missiles against Israeli targets, mostly military targets. So even this time, Israel, which has used about 100 IDF planes, has started bombing in the first phase. And apparently a large number of those have been not successful, but some may have hit. The actual situation will be known later. And Iranians, of course, are saying that they will reserve the right to retaliate, to respond. Now one has to see. But there has been a lot of shuttle diplomacy that is going on, both by the United States and the Gulf countries and the Iranians themselves, who are going virtually all capitals around in the region, as well as they were recently in Moscow at the BRICS summit.
Getting some top updates coming in as Diwali approaches. Delhi's air quality has shown slight improvement, though it remains unconcerning. The air quality index recorded 237, down from 283 the previous day. Certain areas like ITI, Jahangir, Puri still have very high pollution levels, with AQI reading of 265. Authorities warned that pollution may worsen as Diwali nears. Farmers are planning a one-day protest in Punjab, staging road blockades at 4 locations to demand timely paddy procurement and address other grievances. Led by the Bharatiya Kisan Union Punjab, the protest will begin at 1 p.m. with indefinite sit-ins in Sangrur, Moga and other areas. Union Minister Ravneet Singh Bittu criticized the Aam Aadmi Party for not supporting farmers, alleging pressure from the Delhi government to file FIRs against them. Escalating tensions amid ongoing issues. Former Punjab CM Captain Amrinder Singh visited a mandi and found that farmers reported the government was not purchasing paddy and payments were delayed.
दस दिन 12 दिन की तो पैडी पड़ी है, सूख रही है, लोगों को नुकसान हो रहा है, और थोड़ी सी कई बारिश आ जाए तो बिल्कुल ही तबाह हो जाएंगे वो। तो ये बातें मैंने देखी, तो उसके बाद वो बता रहे थे कि परचेस नहीं हो रही, किसी को पैसा नहीं मिल रहा, और मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही क्यों नहीं मिल रहा, क्योंकि जो पता लग रहा है कि 44,000 करोड़ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने भेज दी है, तो फिर कहीं गए, फिर लोगों को क्यों नहीं देते? उनको दो और उनकी पैडी उठाओ। अगर आपके पास स्टोरेज स्पेस नहीं है तो बनाओ।
A search operation is underway to trace the accused in the recent Gulmarg terror attack, which resulted in the death of 2 Indian Army soldiers and 2 civilian porters. The attack occurred on October 24th when terrorists targeted an army vehicle in Baramulla district. The Indian Army's Chinar Corps confirmed an exchange of fire between soldiers and terrorists in the area. This incident follows a separate attack where a labourer was shot and injured in Jammu and Kashmir. In the first in a decade, Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists used a rocket to target an Indian Army convoy in Gulmarg. Indian Army sources report. But the rocket landed near the Army vehicle without a direct hit. It marks an escalation in tactics. Intelligence has indicated regular attempts by Pakistan to push rockets across line of control into Jammu and Kashmir. Just last month, on September 11th, nearly a dozen rocket and launchers were recovered from the Tehran sector in Kupwara, underscoring growing concerns over cross-border arms smuggling. In Jharkhand, Congress in charge Ajoy Kumar accused Odisha Governor and former Chief Minister of Jharkhand, Raghubar Das, of actively campaigning for his daughter-in-law in the upcoming elections. Kumar has urged the Chief Election Commissioner to restrain Das from participating in active politics, claiming he is violating the Model Code of Conduct.
नागरिक की तरह हम एक जिम्मेदार पार्टी हैं, हमारा हक है हम नागरिकों की आवाज बने। तो एक घोटाला नेशनल हेराल्ड केस का, जिसमें AJL कंपनी और यंग इंडिया कंपनी का बात होती है, किस तरह से उसका कंट्रोल गांधी परिवार ने लिया था। अब ये मेरे हाथ में जो है, ये पहला प्रमाण है किस तरह से देयर इज अ नॉन डिस्क्लोजर ऑफ एसेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन। अगर आपने कोई जरूरी तथ्य छुपाए हैं जो अनिवार्य है बताना, ये नॉन डिस्क्लोजर जो किया इन्होंने, ये IT-80 का पब्लिक डोमेन में है। ये पब्लिक डोमेन में ये जजमेंट्स होते हैं, ऑर्डर्स होते हैं। असेसमेंट ईयर ऑफ 2011 एंड 12 ऑर्डर डेटेड है, डेट ऑफ ऑर्डर 31 ऑफ मार्च 2022। इसका एक पेज 53 है, लंबा ऑर्डर है लेकिन पेज 53 रेलेवेंट है। ये देखिए, इसमें ये लिखा है, इन ऑर्डर टू अचीव ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ होल्डिंग 100% शेयर ऑफ द AJL बाय द यंग इंडिया एंड मेजॉरिटी शेयर होल्डर्स एंड देयर रिलेटिव लाइक श्री राहुल गांधी एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, प्लीज अंडरस्कोर, श्रीमती प्रियंका गांधी वाड्रा have purchased additional 47,513 shares and 2,62,411. This number relates to Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. Shares through Ratandeep Trust and Janhit Nidhi Trust respectively. अगर प्रियंका गांधी वाड्रा किसी ट्रस्ट के माध्यम से भी 2,62,411 शेयर्स होल्ड करती हैं, आपने इस एफिडेविट में जो मेरे समक्ष है क्यों नहीं ये बताया है कि ट्रस्ट के ही माध्यम से असेट तो है, इट इज एन असेट। मैंने वो लैंग्वेज सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट की पढ़ी, असेट होगा तो आपको बताना होगा। ट्रस्ट में आप ट्रस्टी हैं, शेयर्स होल्ड करते हैं, और ये आपके पास होना इसलिए चाहिए था कि ये यंग इंडिया का असेसमेंट ईयर 2011-12 का ऑर्डर है। अगर आप शेयर होल्ड करती हैं तो आपने क्यों नहीं ये बताया? सो दिस अमाउंट्स टू नॉन डिस्क्लोजर ऑफ असेट्स। एंड ये क्यों किया है? इसका एक राजनीतिक पहलू है। कट्टर बेईमान, सबसे बड़े भ्रष्टाचारी पूरे विश्व में राजनीतिक कोई अगर परिवार है तो वो गांधी परिवार है। और जब बात आती है कि सार्वजनिक करिए अपनी जितनी संपत्ति है, जो असेट्स हैं, तो ये लोग सोचते हैं संविधान को तार-तार कर देंगे, कानून को झुका देंगे, जनता को बेवकूफ बना देंगे, क्योंकि हम नकली गांधी परिवार हैं। लेकिन ऐसा होने वाला नहीं है। लाखों लाखों ऐसे नागरिक हैं जो सजग हैं, वो लोकतंत्र के प्रहरी हैं, और उन्होंने ही ये मुद्दे तमाम प्लेटफॉर्म पे उठाए हैं। तो मैंने जो पहला सवाल उठाया, इसका पूरा पूरा विस्तृत वर्णन प्रियंका गांधी वाड्रा ने क्यों नहीं किया है? और अगर वो कहती हैं कि जो जानकारी हम इस प्लेटफॉर्म से दे रहे हैं, तो उनको यह अधिकार है कि वो एक प्रेस वार्ता करके इस बिंदु पे उत्तर दें और जनता को बताएं, क्योंकि ये जनता पूछ रही है। दूसरी बड़ी बात है, जैसा मैंने कहा कि जो आपके स्पाउस होंगे, पतिदेव होंगे, इस केस में क्राइम मास्टर गोगो रॉबर्ट वाड्रा लूट खसोट करने के लिए, कमीशन खोरी करने के लिए, किसानों की जमीन हड़पने के लिए वो जाने जाते हैं। तो मैं एक और बात कहूंगा, देखिए, और ये मैं मार्क करके लाया हूं जिससे कि आप चौथा स्तंभ है लोकतंत्र का, इसको पुरजोर तरीके से उठाएं और पूछें। डिस्क्लोजर क्या है? डिस्क्लोजर है, स्पाउस का कॉलम है ये पूरा, उसमें लिखा है personal loans advance given to any person or entity including firm, company, trust, etc. and other receivables from debtors and the amount or balance in LLP as partner as on 30th of September 2024 रॉबर्ट वाड्रा, 3 कंपनी का नाम ये लिखते हैं। बड़ी जिम्मेदारी से बात रख रहा हूं, इसको जरूर प्रमुखता से उठाइए और पूछिए कि यह कैसे ओमिशन है, गलत फैक्ट्स देना, छुपाना। 3 कंपनी जिसमें 3 LLPs हैं, जिसमें रॉबर्ट वाड्रा बताते हैं पार्टनर है, वो है ब्लू ब्रीज ट्रेडिंग, नॉर्थ इंडिया आईटी पार्क LLP और तीसरी स्काईलाइट हॉस्पिटैलिटी। लेकिन यह भी सार्वजनिक है जानकारी, क्योंकि ये रिटर्न्स फाइल करते हैं, सोशल मीडिया पे चल रही है। जो जानकारी सामने आई है और ये जनता ने उठाई है, रॉबर्ट वाड्रा, क्राइम मास्टर गोगो इज अ पार्टनर इन 5 LLPs, 5 में हैं। और 5 कौन सी हैं? 3 मैंने नाम ले लिए। एक है रियल अर्थ एस्टेट्स, जिसका पैन नंबर भी है हमारे पास, लेकिन मैं सार्वजनिक नहीं कर रहा। जानकारी उपलब्ध कराने के लिए इतना आवश्यक है, रियल अर्थ एस्टेट्स LLP, रॉबर्ट वाड्रा is a partner in this LLP as per the documents filed by him only. And दूसरी कंपनी है लंबोदर आर्ट एंटरप्राइजेज इंडिया LLP, इसका पैन नंबर भी है। मैंने आपको 3 जो उन्होंने हलफनामे में दी और 2 उसके बाद और कंपनी जो हैं वो आपके समक्ष रख दी हैं। क्या नहीं चाहिए गांधी परिवार को, सोनिया गांधी जी को, जिन्होंने देश का जीजा जी बना दिया था अपने समय में, रॉबर्ट वाड्रा को? बताएं कि ये तथ्य जो हम उठा रहे हैं ये सत्य है कि नहीं। ये जो जनता की आवाज आ रही है कि कब तक लूट खसोट करोगे, कब तक फरेब करोगे भारत की राजनीति में। और इसीलिए इन्हें बंटी बबली कहना गलत नहीं होगा। बंटी बबली आए हैं झूठी राजनीति करने, फरेब की राजनीति करने। और कानून से ऊपर अपने आप को कभी मत समझिएगा। कानून का हाथ जब पड़ता है, अच्छे अच्छों को उनकी हैसियत पता चल जाती है। अगर आप जनता का सम्मान करते हैं तो आपको तुरंत चाहिए कि आप जो प्रश्न हमने उठाए हैं रिगार्डिंग नॉन डिस्क्लोजर ऑफ असेट्स, शेयर्स and 2 LLPs where Robert Vadra is a partner not having been disclosed in the affidavit filed by Priyanka Gandhi Vadra as is mandatory as per the Supreme Court judgment, and therefore it raises a very serious question. Now, coming to the last part. The last part is the outcome. Very responsibly, I must also state this. The first principle is no one is above the law of the country. The Supreme Court judgment is binding on all citizens and all institutions. The Gandhi Parivar is not above the law of the country or the constitution of our country. If what we have stated today with utmost responsibility on the basis of the documents that are irrefutable, the outcome can be only one. कि उनकी नजर में संविधान की वही इज्जत है जो एक आम नागरिक की नजरों में है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
कोई प्रश्न हो तो सादर आमंत्रित है।
मीडिया पे और हर प्लेटफॉर्म पे चल रहा है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने ठोस कदम यहां पे प्रेस वार्ता करके जनता की आवाज बन के अपनी प्रतिबद्धता को सिद्ध किया है। अब समय आया है कि जो झूठ फरेब की राजनीति कर रहे हैं वो अपनी प्रतिबद्धता संविधान के प्रति और भारत के नागरिकों के प्रति और वायनाड के नागरिकों के
Director, the taste of success.
In the face of an uncertain world, to safeguard our future, Indian Navy propels forward, ready for every challenge. Strengthened by the spirit of innovation and indigenization.
भारतीय नौसेना की भूमिका निरंतर बढ़ती जा रही है, इसलिए नौसेना का स्वावलंबी होना बहुत आवश्यक है।
We are on the path to indigenization and innovation, where our defense systems are not just for us, but by us. At Swavlumbun 2024, the forces of India come together, creating the technology that will protect us tomorrow and beyond. A future where India leads through strength and ingenuity. A future where our defense is powered by Indian minds. Swavlumbun is not just a vision, it's a promise. Swavlumbun 2024, where India's strength meets the future.
Asia's largest news headquarters. Setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
And thank you for tuning in. You're watching Live and Breaking. I'm Suesha Sawant. As we get to the biggest controversy that is making headlines, yes, it is the Waqf controversy that has taken center stage, where the Waqf Board is now claiming ownership to 47 government-controlled properties. We'll get to the entire story that spans across India in this edition. First, a quick check of the headlines we're tracking. Controversy over Pan-India Waqf claims, Republic on ground zero with super exclusive inputs. Trouble mounts for CM Siddaramaiah. Lokayukt officials expected to summon him soon in the Muda scam case. Big lead in Gulmarg terror attack probe. Jaish terrorists used rockets to target Indian Army convoy. Fresh bomb threats issued to Tirupati hotels. Police and dog squad on the spot as probe is underway. National highways held hostage farmer unions to stage mega stir against centre this afternoon.
In response to months of continuous attacks from the regime in Iran against the state of Israel, right now, the Israel Defense Forces is conducting precise strikes on military targets in Iran.
Israel confirms operations in Iran now are complete, reiterates right to defend self stance. Yes, your channel Republic that has uncovered an explosive story that has gripped Karnataka and even other states across the country. A massive land grab allegedly masterminded by the Waqf Board with open support from the Congress party. In fact, over 15,000 acres of Hindu-owned farmland that has been reportedly usurped overnight. And what is even more shocking is the fact that a Congress minister who's gone on record to endorse this forceful takeover has been backed by another Congress minister in Karnataka. Now remember, viewers, that the Waqf Amendment Bill is around the corner, and it is the Waqf Board that is in panic mode. They have declared an emergency across India. Amid all of this, one question looms large. How far will they go? Because we have a pan-India Waqf emergency where it is the Waqf Board that out of nowhere is bent upon uprooting people and claiming ownership to 47 properties, 47 land chunks that are now controlled by the government. People are pained, they are traumatized, they have been on that land for decades now, but they claim that out of nowhere, Waqf Board is wanting them to get uprooted. Our reporters from across the country will join us on the broadcast because it is a similar story that is being reported across states where people are now saying that officials of the Waqf Board are coming and mapping their properties, they're taking pictures and they're asking them to leave from that land, that too without following any procedure or any proper document. In fact, a Hindu family residing on alleged Waqf land on Wazarat Road in Jammu, that too since 1947, has been ordered to vacate immediately, prompting them to seek urgent government intervention to retain their home. BJP has alleged a targeted effort to replace Hindu families in that area, adding to growing concerns around property disputes on Waqf lands. We get you this exclusive report before I go across to my colleague Gursimran.
जम्मू शहर के बीचों बीच दलपतिया मोहल्ले में एक परिवार जो कि 1947 से यहाँ पर रह रहा था, वक्फ की तरफ से अब उन्हें कहा जा रहा है कि इस जगह को खाली किया जाए। अब परिवार जो है जो कि एक कमरे में रह रहा था, उन्हें इलाका खाली करने का, जगह खाली करने का आदेश जो है वक्फ की तरफ से सुनाया गया है। परिवार जो है वो अब चिंता में है क्योंकि ये नहीं जानता कि आखिरकार अब इन्हें जाना कहाँ है, इनका अगला आशियाना कहाँ पर होगा। दो अलग अलग कमरे हैं यहाँ पर जहाँ पर ये परिवार रहता है। परिवार में बच्चे भी हैं। परिवार को अब ये समझ नहीं आ रहा कि हिंदू परिवार जब इतने समय से यहाँ रह रहा था तो अब आखिरकार कहाँ पर जाएगा। परिवार के कुछ सदस्य हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं। मैडम, आपका नाम?
बबली देवी।
आप कब से आप लोग यहाँ रह रहे हैं?
हम 1947 से रह रहे थे। पहले हमारा सौरा रहता था, फिर हमारा दादा रहता था, फिर हमारा सौरा रहता था। अब हमें है, आगे बच्चे हैं हमारे। 1947 के हम किराया देने को तैयार हैं, बंद किया है। हमें जे गवर्नमेंट अगे चाहते हैं कि आएंगे इधर ही 5-5 मरले जगह दी जाए, सारा गुजारा जेड़ा होया जाए।
गुजारा यहाँ पे किया जाए। माता जी, आप अकेले यहाँ पर रहते?
मेरा एक बेटा ही, इसकी देख लो डेथ हुई है। ये मैं तो बिल्कुल नहीं रो रही हूँ, मेरा तो कोई आया ही नहीं है।
अभी आपको क्या कहा गया उनके तरफ से, वक्फ की तरफ से?
आप कह रहे हो आरसपुरा में जाओ,
यहाँ से जगह खाली कर?
हाँ जी।
तो कोई कारण बताया गया आपको जगह क्यों खाली?
नहीं, हमको कोई कारण नहीं बताया गया। बस यही कहते हैं, दफ्तर में जाते हैं, परसों हम काम लगाएंगे, हम जेसीबी लाएंगे, खाली करवाना, आपको यहाँ से खाली करके आरसपुरा भेजेंगे। हमने बोला आरसपुरा में हमारा कोई गुजारा नहीं है, हमने वहाँ पे रहना नहीं है, हमारा यही पे जन्म परम हुआ, हमारा फ्यूचर यहाँ पे है, स्कूल हमारा यहाँ पे है, तो हमारा खाली करके गाँव जाने का और कोई गुजारा नहीं है।
अपनी मर्जी से आते हैं, हमें कुछ नहीं बताते, फोटो शोटो खींच लेते हैं। हमारा यहाँ ही फैसला किया जाए।
कोई रिटर्न नोटिस दिया गया?
कुछ नहीं दिया गया सर।
सिर्फ बोलते हैं?
बोलते हैं हमें आपको जगह दे देंगे, आरसपुरा कमरा डाल देंगे, कुछ कर देंगे, पर हम यहाँ ही रहते हैं। 47 से हमारा गुजारा नहीं चलेगा। गांव में, शहर छोड़ के गांव में कैसे काम करेंगे? हम रडी शाबा लगाते हैं, रडी शाबा लगा के पापा दिहाड़ी का काम करते हैं। हम कहाँ पे मकान बनाएंगे?
कहाँ पे मकान बनाएंगे? आप समझ सकते हैं कि परिवार जो है कहीं ना कहीं ये अलग अलग परिवार हैं। 2 घर हैं इनके आसपास, अब मतलब 2 कमरे हैं जहाँ पे ये लोग रहते हैं। लेकिन अब इनके लिए मुसीबत ये है कि इन्हें ये कहा जा रहा है कि घर जो है वो खाली कर दिए जाएं, बुलडोज़र लाया जाएगा, इस तरह की बात इन्हें कही जा रही है। लेकिन अगर आधिकारिक तौर पर बात करें तो ना इन्हें कोई नोटिस दिया गया है और ना ही इनका जो है वक्फ की तरफ से कहा गया है या रिटन तौर पर दिया गया है कि कहीं इन्हें एकोमोडेट किया जाएगा।
My colleagues joining us on the broadcast, Gursimran from Jammu, Satyavijay from Bhopal, Ashwin from Kerala and Ajay Dubey from Lucknow. But Gursimran, I want to come to you first. No reason given, no documents served, no timeline given, and out of nowhere, they're just being asked to vacate the land without following any procedure whatsoever.
See, Waqf Board in Jammu and Kashmir seems to be in a haste to get these families evacuated from the place that they are living in for more than 7 decades, because the families are saying that they have been living here since 1947. Their ancestors used to live here. They are also living here. But all of a sudden, the officials from the Waqf Board came and ordered them to vacate this place. And I have also warned them that if they do not vacate it in coming days, then there will be an action that will be taken and they will be bringing the JCB along with them to uproot their rooms that are there, and then they will be thrown out from this very place. The family says that the place where they have been told to move to is in the outskirts of the Jammu region and Jammu district itself, and they have no source of livelihood at the new place. They do not have a single penny to invest or to construct their own home, and they say that they are ready to pay the rent whichsoever is required because they have some of the receipts that they have been paying in the past as well. So they said that they have no issues paying rent of the Waqf land, but the way Waqf wants to dislocate them from their property, that is something really suspicious, and these families wants the government to intervene. The Bharatiya Janata Party, which is in opposition in Jammu and Kashmir, has said that this is a deliberate attempt by the Waqf Board ahead of the Waqf Amendment Bill that will be passed in the Parliament, that they want to uproot the Hindu families that are living, because they know that once this bill is approved, these Hindu families that have been living on the the land of the Waqf for more than 7 decades, they will get their right of this land, and that's why there is an attempt that is being made by the Waqf authorities to install the people from the other community in these places, and this is being done. So these are the allegations that are being made, but yes, the family that is suffering is saying that they cannot go anywhere because they do not have money to construct the house elsewhere. Second is that their children study here only, and third is that their livelihood, they run a cart here, they run a shop here. That means their all livelihood source come from this area only. So there is no possibility that they can go to some other area and then they can survive, and that is something really concerning for these two families, one of which has lost her husband and also her sole bread earner son.
It is very painful to hear these stories. Gursimran, do stay on with us, because as we shift our focus to Lucknow, a legal controversy that has erupted there in Uttar Pradesh, where the Waqf Board has laid claim to this land that is surrounded by historic and cultural significance. It's this 250-year-old Lal Shivalaya Kubre Baba Mandir in Sadatganj that has sparked significant unrest among locals who assert its long-standing religious significance. In fact, the dispute that traces back to a 2016 sale involving Afsa Ansari, the wife of politician Mukhtar Ansari, after which the land was reportedly plotted for development. Local residents have strongly opposed this claim. Let's take a look at this exclusive ground report.
ये सर हम तो अपने बचपने से, मेरा आगे घर भी है, बचपने से देख रहे मंदिर है, इसमें भंडारा भी होता था, बहुत लोग साधु महात्मा लोग भी आते थे और पूरे शहादागंज की जनता चंदा इकट्ठा करके हर साल भंडारा होता था। जब तक कुबरे बाबा थे तब तक यहाँ कोई नहीं दिखता था। और ये मंदिर है, प्राचीन कुआं बना हुआ है सामने, वहाँ पे क्रियाक्रम भी होता है हिंदुओं का। और इसमें 5 मंदिर है, शंकर जी का भी मंदिर है, हनुमान जी का मंदिर है, दुर्गा जी का मंदिर है, जो कि मोहल्ले वासी लोग चंदा इकट्ठा करके सब किया करते हैं, भैरव जी का भी मंदिर है। पूरी आपको कब मालूम चला वक़्फ में? हमको तो ये मैम सर अभी कल ही मालूम हुआ, मोहल्ले वाले बता रहे वक़्फ है, वक़्फ है। वक़्फ कुछ नहीं है, जिंदगी भर से देख रहा हूँ मंदिर में पूजा हो रही है, पूजा पाठ होती है, कोई भी त्योहार होता है, सब इसमें 5-6 मंदिर बने हुए हैं, सब भैरव जी का मंदिर, काली जी का मंदिर, दुर्गा जी का मंदिर, हनुमान जी का मंदिर, इतने मंदिर हैं। हम अपने बचपनों से देख रहे हैं, मेरे बाप दादा देखते आ रहे हैं, बाबा तक की हमारे बाप यहाँ आते थे जब बैठते थे, भंडारा होता था। मैं बचपने में इसमें भंडारा खाया हूँ। ये कोई वक़्फ की संपत्ति नहीं है, हिंदू समाज की धार्मिक संपत्ति है।
And moving on to the story that is coming in from Madhya Pradesh, where the Waqf Board is challenging the government control over numerous graveyards and mosques, including a specific property. Before that, I'd also like to cut across to Ajay Dubey to get a sense of how it has panned out in Lucknow. And the BJP is also claiming, Ajay, that Hindus in UP are being targeted.
See, this is a very surprising story coming out from Lucknow. A temple premises which is more than 250 years old, which is known to be Kubre Baba's property, which Kubre Baba established that premises, and various spiritual activities were happening into this premises from last 250 years, and that premises is being claimed by Waqf Board. Waqf Board is saying from year 2016 that it's their property, and local residents, they are not at all happy with this order by the Waqf Board. They are telling their stories, they are telling their forefathers' story related to that premises. So this is what is happening in Uttar Pradesh. People are not at all happy. A Muslim family who helped them, who went to the court to claim that it's not a Waqf's property, but it's a local Hindu resident's property. It's a property related to their welfare. So there is a rage in local residents who are saying it's not Waqf's property.
All right, do stay on with us. Like I was saying, similar story coming in from Madhya Pradesh, where the Waqf Board is challenging government control over numerous graveyards and mosques, including a specific property leased to Bhopal's Airspace police station. According to Waqf Board Chairman Savar Patel, a formal rent agreement that was signed in 2021, yet the rent remains unpaid. That is impacting the board's resources for other responsibilities. This claim is one of the 47 properties the board is contesting in court. Let's take a look at this exclusive report.
बदरुद्दीन अजमल के दावे के बाद एक नई बहस छिड़ गई है, क्योंकि उन्होंने कहा कि नई संसद भवन जो है वो वक्फ की जमीन पर बनी है। मेरे पीछे आप जो बिल्डिंग देख रहे हैं, ये पुलिस हेडक्वार्टर है, पुलिस मुख्यालय है, और वक्फ बोर्ड ये दावा करता है कि ये जो है कब्रिस्तान की जमीन पर बना हुआ है और इस पर वक्फ का दावा है। हालांकि ऐसी न सिर्फ पुलिस मुख्यालय बल्कि पुलिस कंट्रोल रूम, इसके अलावा कई सरकारी अस्पताल और कई ऐसी इमारतें जिसमें वक्फ का दावा है, जिसके की कोर्ट में मामले लंबित चल रहे हैं। ऐसी 47 से ज्यादा प्रॉपर्टीज हैं जिनमें ये मामले लंबित हैं, जिस पर वक्फ अपना दावा करता है और सरकार अपना दावा करती है। वक्फ का ये कहना है कि उन्हें इन बिल्डिंग को, जहां पर ये PHQ में जो पुलिस मुख्यालय जो है ये संचालित हो रहा है, इसके बदले में वक्फ बोर्ड को किराया मिलना चाहिए, लेकिन वो नहीं मिल रहा है। इसी तरह के विवाद कोर्ट में लंबित है और वक्फ बोर्ड ये दावा भी करता है कि कोर्ट उनके पक्ष में फैसला सुनाएगा। लेकिन हम आपको जो बताना चाह रहे हैं वो ये कि 47 ऐसी प्रॉपर्टी हैं जिस पर कि वक्फ के दावे हैं। उनका ये कहना है कि ये जो जगह है ये उनकी है और इसलिए बदले में उन्हें किराया मिलना चाहिए। कुछ दस्तावेज भी वक्फ बोर्ड ने हमें दिखाए, जैसे कि ऐशबाग थाने का किरायानामा उन्होंने दिखाया, जिसमें तय हुआ था कि 20,000 किराया हर महीने दिया जाएगा वक्फ बोर्ड को, लेकिन ऐसा ऐशबाग पुलिस नहीं कर रही है। तो ये जो बहस है ये अपनी जगह है, लेकिन वक्फ एक्ट में संशोधन की भी बात हो रही है और इसी के चलते हम ग्राउंड जीरो से आपको ये रिपोर्ट दिखा रहे हैं, जिसमें हम बताने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि मध्य प्रदेश में भी, खासकर भोपाल में, कई ऐसी प्रॉपर्टीज हैं जिस पर वक्फ के दावे किए जाते हैं कि ये प्रॉपर्टी उनकी है, लेकिन सरकार का अपना तर्क होता है। कैमरामैन संजय अंकिल के साथ सत्यवीर सिंह, रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क, भोपाल।
In fact, let me cut across to Satyavijay to get a clearer picture of what's the situation like in Madhya Pradesh. Satyavijay, no different, and like you're saying that they're also claiming that they're confident that the court will rule in their favor, but to actually go across and suddenly ask people to just vacate and claim ownership over government-controlled land, what is the message they're putting out?
देखिए, मध्य प्रदेश में लंबे समय से ये विवाद रहा है, बल्कि मध्य प्रदेश ही नहीं पूरे देश में वक्फ तरह तरह के दावे करता है। मध्य प्रदेश की बात की जाए तो यहाँ पर भी वक्फ ने तमाम दावे किए हैं। चूंकि भोपाल जो है नवाबों का शहर माना जाता है, यहाँ पर कई ऐसी प्रॉपर्टीज़ है जो लंबे समय से जो मुस्लिम नवाब हैं उनकी थी, और उन प्रॉपर्टीज़ पर खासतौर पर वक्फ ये दावा करता है कि ये प्रॉपर्टी उनकी है। जैसे कि हमीदिया अस्पताल की बात करें या नगर निगम दफ्तर की बात करें, पुलिस मुख्यालय की बात करें, कंट्रोल रूम की बात करें, एक थाने के तो बाकायदा डॉक्यूमेंट वक्फ बोर्ड ने दिए, ऐशबाग थाना, जहाँ पर कि रेंट एग्रीमेंट होता है। लेकिन इन सब दावों से इतर सरकार वक्फ के इन दावों पर सरकार का रवैया अलग है, क्योंकि जैसा मैंने पहले भी कहा था कि जब इन प्रॉपर्टी का कंप्यूटराइजेशन हुआ उसके बाद दो ही तरह की प्रॉपर्टी सरकारी लिस्ट में है, गवर्नमेंट प्रॉपर्टी, प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी। लेकिन वक्फ के पास जो पुराना रिकॉर्ड है, जो सर्वे होने के बाद से उनके पास दस्तावेज है, उस आधार पर वो दावे करता है। और इसीलिए ये पूरे मामले जो 47 प्रॉपर्टीज़ की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, उन प्रॉपर्टी को लेकर कोर्ट में मामले विचाराधीन हैं। वक्फ का दावा है कि इसके एवज में उन्हें किराया एक मुस्तरकम मिलना चाहिए, लेकिन सरकार के अपने तर्क हैं और इसी को लेकर बहस छिड़ी हुई है। लेकिन कई ऐसे भी लोग हैं मध्य प्रदेश में, भोपाल में, यहाँ पर की जो परिवार है उनकी ज़मीन पर वक्फ ने अचानक दावा ठोका है, वहाँ पर कहना चाहिए ताले डाल दिए हैं और इसके बाद से उस प्रॉपर्टी पर जो पीड़ित पक्ष है उसे रहने नहीं दिया जाता है या फिर उनसे बदले में पैसा मांगा जाता है। इसी के चलते अब नए जो एक्ट में संशोधन की बात हो रही है वो उसको वक्फ बोर्ड इनकार उससे वक्फ बोर्ड भी नहीं कर रहा है। उनका कहना है कि इस संशोधन से वक्फ बोर्ड को भी फायदा होगा और जो नियम अनुसार है वो डिसीजन कोर्ट को करना है।
All right, Satyavijay, do stay on. Also getting our viewers the story from Kerala, where residents of Munambam in Kerala's coastal belt are in shock after they learned that the Waqf Board laid claim to over 400 acres of their land in 2022. Community members, including those near Velankani Matha Church, expressed anxiety to Republic, fearing displacement. We're getting you this exclusive from Kerala.
The sudden claim by the Waqf Board that the land between Munambam and Cherai belongs to them, almost 104 acres which is now existing, has caused so much pain to 110 plus residents over here. Shanta is suffering from Parkinson. 72-year-old Shanta is now living in this very small house, a family of 4, including his son Liju and his wife and kid. They have been living here, and although the government had sanctioned them under the Life Mission to rebuild the house, the entire case has halted their entire possibility of building this home up. They all are living, 4 of them are living in a single room over here inside this house, and Liju is the only breadwinner of the family, and there are expenses for the family because of the mother's condition. So this is a situation, many homes like this are waiting in anticipation for a relief, and that can only come with the Joint Parliamentary Committee and the amendment that has been intended to be brought in the Waqf law in the country as well. With video journalist Mani S from Munambam, Ashwin Nandakumar, Republic TV.
Ashwin also with us on the broadcast. Ashwin, Hindus, Christians being targeted and they fear displacement. With regards to this church, what are people saying?
People are extremely agonized. They are in anxiety ever since this claim has been made. In fact, the claim made by the Waqf Board reflects in the revenue records as well, where the revenue department in the submission made to the High Court when the case came up has given that the occupants of this land as illegal occupants. Now remember, Suresha, this is the official government record. So which essentially means people who have been paying this land tax, the property tax for decades. In fact, the land has been rolled over, it's been sold and resold multiple times, at least 12, 13 times, some of these parcels of land. Suddenly, a demand by Waqf taking the 1995 amendment into effect and claiming that this land is theirs has caused so much of anxiety and agony to the people over there that they have approached the court for it. There are 5 cases pending, but at the same time, when Republic did speak to the people over there, they are keeping the bets on the amendments, which they say will bring them a huge relief, because first the disputes will be resolved very quickly, because the ambit will come within the civil court itself. Right now, it is within the tribunal. Number 2, the collector of one of the main part of this amendment is that the district collector will have a complete deciding factor on it, which essentially means the local bureaucracy itself will be able to solve some of these disputes. So the Christian community, around 600 of them are over here in the Munambam, are vouching that this particular amendment will bring them all the relief that they are supposed to get. The state of Munambam is just one of the case studies that we have. In fact, I've got documents which shows that 30,000 acres, around 14 different locations, Waqf has made these claims. And remember, Suresha, these are only public Waqf claims. Apart from this, there is private Waqf claims which are even bigger in number, and the consequence of that is even more big. So certainly we see this kind of a claim that has been made, certainly putting a lot of life in jeopardy. People are unable to pledge their land. People are unable to pledge their land for sending their daughters for studies abroad, or for marriage, or for any purpose that matter. Even for renovation of their house, they cannot do it because of the cases that are pending in the court. So certainly they are all waiting for this amendment to happen.
All right, I request you all to stay on with us as we also take a look at the political reactions coming in. We understand how the Congress is backing the Waqf Board, the BJP heavily opposing such a move, saying that people can't just be uprooted out of nowhere. Let's listen in.
ये जो विवादास्पद बोल रहे हैं आप, बेंगलुरु का जो लैंड्स, कर्नाटका, उतना ही नहीं है, देश भर में अलग अलग जगह वक्फे नाम पर जो पट्टा लैंड्स हो, ओन लैंड्स में के ऊपर भी ये वक्फे नाम पर रिकॉर्ड डालकर लोगों को सताते बहुत सालों से। और टेम्पल्स का लैंड भी वक्फ लैंड बोलते हैं, किसानों का लैंड भी वक्फ लैंड बोलते हैं, घर बन के रखते हैं, स्पोर्ट्स प्लेग्राउंड्स है, ऐसी अलग अलग जगह देश भर में लाते हैं। दूसरा तरफ यही लोग, मजलिस पार्टी के जैसे लोग वक्फ नाम पर कब्जा करके गवर्नमेंट लैंड्स वो बेचते हैं, वक्फ लैंड को पूरा कब्जा करते हैं, वक्फ लैंड पे कम्युनिटी हॉल्स बनाते हैं, शादी खाना बनाते हैं, किराए को देते हैं, उसको कोई पूछने वाले नहीं है। रियल वक्फ लैंड कब्जा किया है, जो इनोसेंट पीपल का जो पट्टा लैंड्स है वो वक्फ लैंड बोलकर रिकॉर्ड रखते हैं। वक्फ ऐसा एक्ट है, कोई भी लैंड वक्फ बोल के वो रिकॉर्ड में लिखे तो कोर्ट भी नहीं जा सकते, ये स्थिति है। उसका कोई अपील भी नहीं रहता है, ऐसा स्थिति है। इसलिए ये मोनोपोली है, दादागिरी करते हैं वक्फ के नाम पर, गरीबों के ऊपर, वक्फ के नाम पर प्राइवेट लोगों के ऊपर दादागिरी करते हैं। इसके लिए भारत सरकार ने तय किया है वक्फ एक्ट बदलाव करना, रियल जो वक्फ के लैंड्स है उसको जो कब्जा अन्य लोग ना करे और लैंड को प्रोटेक्ट करेंगे। उसके साथ उनका अधिकार भी रियल वक्फ के लिए काम करना चाहिए, जो लैंड्स के हित के लिए काम करना चाहिए। इसलिए भी भारत सरकार ने अलग अलग संशोधन उस वक्फ एक्ट में लाने के लिए प्रयास कर रहे। इसके लिए अभी भारत सरकार ने तय किया है, पार्लियामेंट में स्पीकर ने तय किया है, इस एक्ट को जॉइंट पार्लियामेंट कमेटी को दे दिए गए। जॉइंट पार्लियामेंट कमेटी को देश भर में अलग अलग जगह घूम के अलग अलग लोगों के साथ राय ले रहे। उसके बाद दिल्ली में फाइनल होने के बाद आप देखें परसों मीटिंग में जो टीएमसी के एमपी बाटल फोड़कर चेयरमैन के ऊपर अटेम्प्ट मर्डर करने के लिए प्रयास किया है। इतना भयंकर रूप से कुछ लोग काम कर रहे देश में। इसलिए मैं चाहता हूँ इस समस्या शांतिपूर्वक हल होना चाहिए। रियल जो वक्फ लैंड है उसको प्रोटेक्ट करना चाहिए। जो इनोसेंट के वो लैंड्स को जो वक्फ नाम पर जो कब्जा करने के लिए प्रयास करते हैं उसको बंद करना चाहिए। वक्फ बोर्ड जो है, जो दादागिरी का वक्फ बोर्ड नहीं रहना चाहिए। जेन्यून जो वक्फ लैंड को प्रोटेक्ट करने का और जनता के हित में काम करने का वक्फ बोर्ड का कमेटी चाहिए। इसके लिए भी हम इस पार्लियामेंट, जॉइंट पार्लियामेंट में जो एक्ट होने वाला है इसमें हम लगाए हैं। जो भी होता है देखेंगे।
Because I think Tejasvi Surya, why he expressed his views, one of the ministers from the Karnataka government, he expressed, I think, in Haveri or somewhere, whether it is farming communities land or anything, whatever work we have acquired those properties, we will not leave it. That kind of very arrogant reply was given by the minister. In that regard, actually, I think he expressed his views.
But sir, will you be taking up this in this winter
No, not only Karnataka issue. Already in the cabinet, Honorable Prime Minister, under his leadership, he has taken the decision wherever the government properties, in the name of Waqf, whatever actually misuse has done by several people by grabbing the land in the entire country, not only in Karnataka. For that, actually, he has taken the decision in the cabinet to bring amendment.
I'd like to thank all my colleagues for joining us on the broadcast as we continue to track more inputs on this story. For the moment, we have to slip into a very short commercial break. We'll be back on campus.
Surface winds in the capital improve the air quality to the poor level, recording the air quality index at 270 from 306 on Thursday. However, forecast warned that this relief will be short-lived. Stay tuned as we bring in more details from Ground Zero. We will be back after a short break. Keep watching Republic TV.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
There have been some developments in the Gyanvapi case where earlier today there was a representation which had been made a few months back by the Hindu side, saying that there should be a survey of the entire Gyanvapi complex. The entire complex, ladies and gentlemen, the Hindu side wanted a very deep archaeology-based, scientific-based analysis of whether there was a temple where a mosque now exists. And that has been rejected today. The Varanasi court said that at this point of time, you cannot have a very deep survey that goes into the entire area when the matter is still before the Supreme Court. What did the Hindu side want? The Hindu side wanted a full survey, an extensive survey in the settlement plot 9130 on your screen out there, which is basically where the Gyanvapi premises are. And the Hindu side says that why don't we just use the highest levels of scientific techniques to find out whether there was a temple, where there is now a mosque, because this area is very significant to us. It has a lot to do with Hindu sentiments. So they wanted the use of ground penetrating radars, for example. They wanted georadiology systems to be used. They wanted deep excavation to happen. And
controversy over pan-India Waqf claims Republic on ground zero with super exclusive inputs. Trouble mounts for Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. Lokayukt officials expected to summon him soon in Muda scam case. Big lead in Gulmarg terror attack probe. Jaish terrorists used rockets to target Indian Army convoy. Fresh bomb threats issued to Tirupati hotels. Police and dog squad on spot as probe is underway. National Highways held hostage farmer unions to stage mega stir against centre this afternoon.
In response to months of continuous attacks from the regime in Iran against the State of Israel, right now, the Israel Defense Forces is conducting precise strikes on military targets in Iran.
Israel confirms operations in Iran are now complete, reiterates right to defend self stance. Thank you for staying with Republic. I'm Suesha Savant. As we begin this edition with breaking news coming in, yes, we are learning that the ED is conducting searches. These searches that are being conducted across Delhi, Mumbai, Jaipur, Chandigarh, Bengaluru in connection to the illegal sale of tickets of Coldplay and Diljit Dosanjh's concert Dilluminati. During the search operation, several incriminating material such as mobile phones, laptops, SIM cards that were used in the scam were recovered and seized as a part of these searches. Remember, these searches that pan across New Delhi, Mumbai, Jaipur, Chandigarh, Bengaluru. This in connection to the illegal sale of tickets of Coldplay and Diljit Dosanjh's concert Dilluminati. Soumya will join us live to take us through the details of the recoveries that have been made and all that has been seized by the ED as a part of these searches. But this has been the hugest controversy in recent times over how illegal sale of tickets of these most sought after concerts of both Coldplay and Diljit Dosanjh that are set to take place in New Delhi, where the ED has now seized incriminating materials such as mobile phones, laptops, SIM cards that were all used in this scam to sell tickets illegally. Remember, these concerts that are set to happen in New Delhi, and these are raids that were conducted in 5 cities over illegal sale of Coldplay Diljit concert tickets. Now, ticketing partners for the shows were reportedly selling out tickets for both the concerts within minutes. ED has now conducted raids in Delhi, Mumbai, Jaipur, Chandigarh, Bangalore in connection with the illegal sale of these tickets. And several complaints of fraud through fake ticket sales and resale of tickets at exorbitant prices were received. Meanwhile, Israel has confirmed that it has completed a series of targeted strikes on military sites in Iran in response to the recent Iranian attacks, marking an assertive stance to neutralize immediate threats. IDF has emphasized Israel's readiness to retaliate should Iran pursue further escalation. It stated that the IDF has proven its decisive offensive and defensive capabilities, signaling Israel's preparedness to protect its people and national security. Several reactions that come in on this. Let's listen in.
I can now confirm that we have concluded the Israeli response to Iran's attack against Israel. We conducted targeted and precise strikes on military targets in Iran, thwarting immediate threats to the state of Israel. The Israel Defense Forces has fulfilled its mission. If the regime in Iran were to make the mistake of beginning a new round of escalation, we will be obligated to respond. Our message is clear. All those who threaten the state of Israel and seek to drag the region into wider escalation will pay a heavy price. We demonstrated today that we have both the capability and the resolve to act decisively, and we are prepared on offense and defense to defend the state of Israel and the people of Israel.
News has come in that there's been a fresh attack on Tehran by Israeli warplanes, and the Israeli military said they have completed a job where they have hit precisely military targets in Tehran. In fact, explosions have been heard in Tehran. This is on the morning of Saturday. America says we are not involved at all, though President Biden was being briefed all the time that preparations are going on for this attack. Now, this is a very serious matter. It is a retaliation for 1st October, when Iran fired 200 missiles on Israel. So this is the promised retaliatory attack. Now, this is a very serious matter, because once Iran is attacked, if they also retaliate, it could lead to a small war in the area.
Well, these retaliatory strikes from Iran have been expected for quite some time. In fact, on October 1, Tehran had attacked with 181 ballistic missiles against Israeli targets, mostly military targets. So even this time, Israel, which has used about 100 IDF planes, has started bombing in the first phase. And apparently a large number of those have been not successful, but some may have hit. The actual situation will be known later. And Iranians, of course, are saying that they will reserve the right to retaliate, to respond. Now one has to see. But there has been a lot of shuttle diplomacy that is going on, both by the United States and the Gulf countries and the Iranians themselves, who are going virtually all capitals around in the region, as well as they were recently in Moscow at the BRICS summit.
Let me cut across to Nick Kolyohin, who is joining us from Tel Aviv. Nick, fact is that the IDF has concluded strikes in Iran, is the statement that has come in, but Israel is also very clear in its position that they have the right to defend themselves, and that is exactly what they are doing. Given the fact that they call for a culmination of a conclusion of the strikes in Israel, what's slated next?
Israel now sent a message to Iran that we can hit you anywhere we want, and our jet has precise weapons. That's what you don't have, Iran, because when Iran attacked Israel, they fired hundreds of ballistic missiles, and some of them hit schools and buildings of residential regular citizens. And now Israel striking exactly the targets that it wants, and it is especially all the defense systems, the air defense systems of Iran as S-300 that probably Russia supplied to Iran. And now they are defenseless, and they understand that if they strike Israel, the next strike of Israel back to Iran could be much more worse for Iranian regime, because now they will not have almost no air defense system. And also Israel struck some of the facilities where they are producing the drones and the missiles and other military weapons and equipment. And it shows to the Iranian regime that it's better for you to stop now before it will be too late. And Israel also understands that now we are just weeks before the elections in the United States, and the United States doesn't want a big war in the Middle East. They don't want a spike of the oil prices. So for those political reasons, also Israel just targeted the military targets of Iran and not oil facilities, no nuclear facilities, but it could be the next step of the escalation. But the people in Israel and also the government and the military, they hope, and there was some exchange of messages, that this cycle of violence could end now if Iran will explain to its people that the damage is not so serious and that we can now stop this war. So we will see in the coming hours and days what will happen.
In fact, that was going to be my next question to you, Nick. You think Iran will step back?
I believe so. I believe so, because they see the capabilities of the Israeli army, and they also see that Israel doesn't afraid to strike inside of Iran and to declare it was us. Because until now, all the other strikes that happened in Iran, Israel never took a responsibility for them. So now it's a big step forward for Israel to show a courage, and also Iran look at the United States that it is behind Israel and they are supporting Israel. This is their closest ally, and Iran understands that if it will be an all-out war, it's not sure that Iranian partners like China or Russia will help it, and Iran couldn't stand alone. Without the help of other BRICS countries. They couldn't stand alone even against Israel, because Israel has much more weapons and much more precise ammunition, and Iran just had maybe another additional 800, maybe 1,000 ballistic missiles, but they already fired hundreds of them, and they saw that it almost didn't did anything serious to Israel. And most of the rockets were intercepted by the Israeli defense systems. That's why Iran understands they don't have the capabilities to hurt Israel. The only way they can do it if they will produce a nuclear weapons. And this is the biggest threat to Israel. And that's why also it's a big dilemma for Israel, because maybe now it's a time to destroy those capabilities and the nuclear facilities. But on the other hand, it could lead to a world war, and that's why everybody needs to be really, really now calm and need to think twice before they're doing something that they couldn't go back after that.
Right. Nick, my last question to you. With America's position fluctuating, how does that impact Israel's decision-making from here on?
I think that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, for so many years in power in Israel, and he knows a lot about American politicians, American political system, and he knows how to exploit it. And now it's just days before the elections there, and the Jewish votes are really important for both candidates. And that's why Israel now maneuvering and doing now this attack, because they know that the American administration has no choice and just to support Israel. And that's why Israel now doing a smart moves for it. It is doing this kind of attack that America can live with that, but they are not crossing the red lines that America code to the Israeli government, and that's why Antony Blinken came to Israel to tell to the Israeli government what you can and what you can't do. And that's why now Israel in a position that they need to wait and see what will be the response of Iran before they decide what will be their next move.
Nick, for the moment, I want to thank you for getting us the latest of what exactly is happening on the ground. We'll keep coming back to you for further updates. We now move on. Thank you for speaking to Republic.
Strong surface winds in the capital improved the air quality to the poor level, recording the air quality index at 270 from 306 on Thursday. However, forecast warned that this relief will be short-lived. Stay tuned as we bring in more details from Ground Zero. We will be back after a short break. Keep watching Republic TV.
And well, a day after your channel exposed a sinister Waqf plan to usurp farmers' land in Congress-ruled Karnataka, a similar story that unfolded even in the north in Uttar Pradesh and other states, where it was alleged that the Waqf Board, which calls itself the custodian of this land and properties which it claims were donated for philanthropic purposes, has laid claim to multiple plots and properties in Lucknow, including a temple that is dedicated to worshipping Lord Shiva. We are getting you a culminated report of what is happening across pan-India. After farmers in Karnataka alleged pressure from the local administration to register land with the Waqf Board, a similar story has come to light in Uttar Pradesh. It is alleged that the Waqf has claimed multiple land chunks and properties in Lucknow. According to sources, the properties for which the Waqf is claiming ownership rights includes a Hindu temple. The Lal Shivalaya Kubre Baba temple is situated in Lucknow's Sadatganj Mamala. Locals have claimed the temple, which has been in existence for more than 250 years, is now on the radar of the body that calls itself the custodian of land and properties donated by the Muslim Brethren for charity.
It's a very surprising story in Lucknow where 250 years old temple is being claimed by a Waqf Board. They are telling it is their property. It's been from 250 years old temple, and the important part is that local residents, they are very aggressive on this. They are telling that they are watching this temple from their childhood. They have heard stories from their forefathers about this temple. There used to be Kubre Baba who used to do worship over there. He established that temple. That's the story we are getting from the local resident. But now after 2060, suddenly Waqf Board started claiming its own property to that land. That's what local residents are saying. They're very angry on this. They're very upset with this. And even the important most part is that the Muslim family who went against Waqf Board to the court to establish that's not a Waqf Board's property, but it's a property of Hindu temple. They are fighting this case against Waqf Board. So this is a very surprising story happened against the Waqf Board in Uttar Pradesh.
Locals allege that the plot on which the temple stands was sold to departed gangster turned politician Mukhtar Ansari's wife Afsa Ansari in 2016. They claimed some plotting activity was carried out after the transfer of land, but the matter has since been in court pending arbitration.
ये तो सिर्फ शिवालय का ही मंदिर है।
आप बताएं, आप क्या कहेंगे इसके लिए?
ये बहुत पूर्वजों की तरफ से हमारा चला आ रहा है मंदिर और इसमें वक़्फ का कोई सवाल ही नहीं उठता है।
हमको तो ये मैम सर अभी कल ही मालूम हुआ, मोहल्ले वाले बता रहे वक़्फ है वक़्फ है। वक़्फ कुछ नहीं है, जिंदगी भर से देख रहा हूँ मंदिर में पूजा हो रही है, पूजा पाठ होती है, कोई भी त्योहार होता है, सब इसमें 5-6 मंदिर बने हुए हैं। सब भैरव जी का मंदिर, काली जी का मंदिर, दुर्गा जी का मंदिर, हनुमान जी का मंदिर, इतने मंदिर हैं। हम अपने बचपनों से देख रहे हैं, मेरे बाप दादा देखते आ रहे हैं, बाबा तक की हमारे बाप यहाँ आते थे जब बैठते थे, भंडारा होता था। मैं बचपन में इसमें भंडारा खाया हूँ। ये कोई वक़्फ की संपत्ति नहीं है, हिंदू समाज की धार्मिक संपत्ति है।
Earlier, your channel had exposed a potential land grab by the Waqf in Karnataka after several farmers alleged pressure to give up land they had rightfully owned and tilled for generations. Amid the Waqf's bid to lay claim to properties on a whim, the anxious question crossing several minds is, what's next on their radar? On to other updates, IMD has said that Cyclone Dana has weakened into a well-marked low-pressure area and is likely to further weaken to become insignificant. Cyclone Dana hit the Odisha coast on Friday, uprooting trees, snapping power lines in several areas and reports of deaths in West Bengal. 2 more persons died in West Bengal due to Cyclone Dana, taking the toll to 4. A civic volunteer died on the spot when he allegedly touched a live wire in Purba Bardhaman district. An employee of the Howrah Municipal Corporation was found dead in a waterlogged road in Tantipara. It was suspected that he died due to drowning. One labourer was killed with another sustained injuries after a portion of the under construction building that fell in Bihar's Asupur. Police reached the site after receiving information about the incident that took place at the apartment.
आसिफपुर अंतर्गत दानापुर थाना क्षेत्र के अंतर्गत आस्तिक कंस्ट्रक्शन कंपनी के निर्माणाधीन अपार्टमेंट से 2 मजदूरों को गिरने से जख्मी हो गए हैं। घटनास्थल पर पहुंचने पर पता चला कि उसमें से एक मजदूर जिसका नाम मनोहर सिंह है, उनकी घटनास्थल पर ही मृत्यु हो गई थी, जबकि दूसरे मजदूर को क्यूरिस हॉस्पिटल इलाज के लिए भेजा गया था। इलाज के क्रम में दूसरे मजदूर जिनका नाम भुलावन पंडित है, उनकी भी मृत्यु हो गई है। पुलिस घटनास्थल पर कैंप कर रही है, अग्रिम कार्रवाई की जा रही है।
4 people were killed in a house fire in Haryana's Gurugram. Police reached the spot as soon as word reached about the fire that occurred on Friday evening. The fire brigade and ambulance were also called to the fire incident site. 3 members of a family were killed in a head-on collision between a car and a pickup truck in Rajasthan's Anupgarh today. The accident took place near a bus stand on National Highway 911. Well, after the Lokayukt police grilled Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaya's wife Parvati, this in connection to the Mura scam on Friday, top sources now indicate that Lokayukt has registered an FIR against Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaya in the Mura land case, and he could be summoned soon. We are getting you all the details in this report.
Fresh trouble for Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaya. The Lokayukta police has registered an FIR against him in the Muda land scam case. This follows after Lokayukta police questioned Siddaramaya's wife B.N. Parvati for 2 hours yesterday. Remember, Siddaramaya's wife has been listed as accused number 2 in this case. It is alleged that compensatory sites were allotted to Siddaramaya's wife in an upscale area of Mysuru, which has a higher property value compared to her land that was acquired by Muda. The Muda had allotted plots to Parvati under a 50-50 ratio scheme in exchange for 3.16 acres of her land where it developed a residential layout. Lokayukta officials will soon summon Siddaramaiah to further the inquiry.
Since 2014, there have been 1,357 incidents of terror in Jammu and Kashmir, which have resulted in casualties. As these attacks are increasingly desperately as the cover of winter nears, and the Pakistanis will be doing their classic and stale and pathetic trick of trying to push through terrorists en masse into Kashmir, which has been largely peaceful since the blood business of Azadi has been shut down in Jammu and Kashmir, and the lifeline of Islamabad has been asphyxiated. We need to adopt a much more aggressive strategy militarily to counter Pakistan. If we deliberate at a time like this, we can finish the job in days, not even weeks. We are calling the global shots. We are part of the global power play, and I think the time for the final solution is here.
Director, the taste of success.
Welcome back to the channel, viewers. Today we have the exciting new Honda Elevate Apex Edition, a special variant of Honda's popular SUV that's making waves in the automotive market with its unique features and stylish enhancements. This edition is designed to elevate your driving experience. Let's explore what makes the Honda Elevate Apex Edition stand out. Recently launched at a starting price of 12.86 lakh rupees, the Honda Elevate Apex Edition is based on the mid-spec V and VX trims. Now, this limited edition brings a fresh twist to the standard model, making it a compelling choice for buyers looking for something special. Talking about the exterior, the Apex Edition features subtle yet striking cosmetic changes. It sports a piano.
And well, during the curtain raise news conference for Swavlamban 2024, which is the third edition of Indian Navy's Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization Seminar, chaired by Vice Admiral Krishna Swaminathan, emphasized that the Navy's commitment to showcasing significant advancements in innovation and indigenization to enhance India's defense capabilities, scheduled for October 28, 29, 2024 at the Bharat Mandapam, Swavlamban 2024, that promises to be a larger and a more impactful gathering. Getting you all the details.
In the face of an uncertain world, to safeguard our future, Indian Navy propels forward, ready for every challenge. Strengthened by the spirit of innovation and indigenization.
भारतीय नौसेना की भूमिका निरंतर बढ़ती जा रही है, इसलिए नौसेना का स्वावलंबी होना बहुत आवश्यक है.
We are on the path to indigenization and innovation, where our defense systems are not just for us, but by us. At Swavlamban 2024, the forces of India come together, creating the technology that will protect us tomorrow and beyond. future where India leads through strength and ingenuity. A future where our defense is powered by Indian minds. Swavlumbun is not just a vision, it's a promise. Swavlumbun 2024, where India's strength meets the future.
Time now for a short commercial break. On the other side, we get you details of the big lead in Gulmarg attack probe. Jaish terrorists used rockets to target Indian Army convoy.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Thousands of acres grabbed in the name of Waqf. Not one state, multiple states from where complaints are now coming in. It is a complete Waqf emergency. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get you reports from across the nation to tell you what's really happening in the name of Waqf. But up first, let's take a look at the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Controversy over pan-India Waqf claims Republic on ground zero with super exclusive inputs. Trouble mounts for Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. Lokayukta officials expected to summon him soon in the Muda scam case. Big lead in the Gulmarg terror attack probe. Jaish terrorists used rockets to target Indian Army convoy. Fresh bomb threats issued to Tirupati hotels. Police and dog squad at the spot as probe underway. National Highways held hostage farmer unions to stage a megastar against centre this afternoon.
Response to months of continuous attacks from the regime in Iran against the State of Israel. Right now, the Israel Defense Forces is conducting precise strikes on military targets in Iran.
Israel confirms the operations in Iran now completed, reiterates a right to defend self stance. Republic has uncovered a mega investigation that's taking place in multiple states, an explosive story that has gripped not just Karnataka but states beyond that. Massive land grab allegations that have been leveled, masterminded by none other than the Waqf Board with open support with Rahul Gandhi-led Congress government in Karnataka. Over 15,000 acres of Hindu-owned land, farmland, has been usurped. In fact, this has been given a complete endorsement by top Congress leaders. A Congress minister has essentially got on record endorsing this forceful takeover. Remember, viewers, the Waqf Amendment Bill is around the corner, and in panic mode, the Waqf Board has declared an emergency across India. Amidst all of this, one question looms large. How far will this go? Because we have a pan-India Waqf emergency. When we say pan-India Waqf emergency, what do we really mean? On your screens, these are snapshots of Waqf property across the country, starting from Jammu, Bhopal, Lucknow and Kerala. In fact, what you see right now, details of the Waqf plot, Waqf emergency in Karnataka. Why are we saying that? That's because, remember, 15,000 acres, that's the area that is being taken over overnight. In fact, this comes with a complete endorsement by the state government in the state of Karnataka. Farmers are claiming there's been a massive pressure coming in from the Congress government. So much so, one of the Congress leaders have come on record saying attach all the lands to Waqf property if documents cannot be provided within a stipulated period of time. To back that very leader, you have another minister coming together and saying that what Zamir Ahmed Khan, Karnataka minister, had to say was absolutely correct. And that's exactly what they're essentially indicating right now. Let me also get you some more breaking news now coming in. This is coming in from the state of Uttar Pradesh, where Waqf has allegedly occupied 40 acres of Kashinath temple land starting from 2005, stating land that basically belongs to Dargah in Ahmednagar. Republic, in fact, gets you a report from the very spot where the Waqf have essentially put up a board claiming the land belongs to them. This is in Kanifnath temple. Let me bring in my colleague Sandeep, who's joining us right now from Ahmednagar, getting us the latest details. Sandeep, where is this and what's the current status of the Waqf property that we are talking about?
See, Shravan, yes, I'm right at the spot of the disputed property. This is the Kanifnath temple, and as far as the claims of the temple trust members are concerned, this land actually belonged to Kanifnath temple, and that was done before British era. Now, as far as the Waqf is concerned, in 2005, Waqf makes an entry, and in fact, before I get into this very temple, I would like to show a parallel dargah has been in fact created out here. Then I'll continue to explain you the whole story, Shravan. In 2005, this land that was belonging to this very Kanifnath temple was mentioned on the record as dargah, and in fact was occupied by Waqf, by the people of Waqf and the local illegal residents out here. Now, what has happened since then? The 40-acre land was in fact taken up, was encroached by Waqf, and the people were illegally made to reside out here without any legal permission. This temple belongs to Nath community, and this is the Kanifnath temple, and in fact there was an attempt made to distort the evidences of temple. Remember, this temple is being colored in green color, and in fact there were the posters of the deities, Hindu deities, that was in fact colored. There was distortion made. I have a few people from the temple trust to shed some more light on this whole story. बताइए शुरुआत से कि कैसे एक मंदिर की जगह को दरगाह बताया गया, कैसे 40 एकड़ लैंड को जो है वो वक़फ़ ने अपने कब्जे में कर लिया, आपको कैसे पता चला?
2005 में उन्होंने वक्फ बोर्ड का नोंद किया, तो उस टाइम पे जिस टाइम उन्होंने वक्फ किया उस टाइम हमारे पास साल हमको पता नहीं था, पर हमारे एक जन जो तहसील में कुछ काम के लिए गया उस टाइम उनको पता चला, फिर गांव में बता दिया। तो और उसके बाद 2015 में उन्होंने मुतवली ट्रस्ट स्थापन किया। मुतवली ट्रस्ट स्थापन करने के बाद उसका जो नोंद है,
ये अलग एक ट्रस्ट स्थापना किया यहाँ के जो गैर कानूनी तरीके से रहने वाले लोग
तरीके पर उसको उनको ना ये जो जगह है वो वक्त में लेने का था, तो उस वो ट्रस्ट को जब तक ग्राम पंचायत से लीगली परमिशन नहीं मिलता तब तक ये जगह वक्त में ट्रांसफर नहीं होती।
आप लोग कोर्ट गए थे, तो कोर्ट में क्या कुछ हुआ था? कोर्ट में क्या कुछ बताया गया था? क्या कुछ कोर्ट का ऑब्जर्वेशन था?
कोर्ट का ऑब्जर्वेशन था कि जब ये वक्त तो जो नोंद होनी तो उसको रूल्स रहे थे 5, 6, 7 रूल्स, वो फॉलो नहीं किया उन्होंने। वो रूल्स ऐसे है, ये हिंदू की जगह चाहिए, सॉरी ये मुस्लिम की जगह चाहिए। वो
आप बताएं कि जब आप कोर्ट में गए तो कोर्ट का ऑब्जर्वेशन क्या था? किन नियमों का उल्लंघन वक्फ बोर्ड ने किया था?
कोर्ट के हिसाब से वक्फ बोर्ड ने 5, 6, 7 ये दोनों 3 डिवीज़न फॉलो नहीं किए, जिसके तहत जो ज़मीन वक्फ होनी चाहिए वो ज़मीन किसी मुस्लिम की होनी चाहिए या किसी ने उसे दान करनी चाहिए। ये ऐसा कोई रूल्स फॉलो नहीं किए।
So, Shravan, I'll just tell you in a short brief that ultimately this land was given, this temple was given to the wife of Shankar Bhai before the British area by the Subedar. This was before the British area when there were Mughals and there was, the era of king and queens in India. Since then, they had the evidences. The Hindu community had the evidences. They had the paper and documentation ready. But ultimately, the people used to reside out here near this temple made a fake trust, in fact, and they tried registering this temple on the name of Dargah. And in fact, if I could show you, they tried also to damage this temple. In fact, there were the carvings of Hindu deities that were also in fact distorted. Kanti, if you could just get inside this very temple. Now there were several carvings out here that were made, that an attempt was in fact made to in fact distort this very temple. Not only that, there were the carvings of Hindu deities that were also in fact removed by the local people who are the illegal resident out here, who tried converting this temple to in fact Dargah. So not only that, Shravan, as far as the temple is concerned, it is usually, Hindus' temples are usually colored in saffron color, but ultimately this temple was colored in green color, and there was a dispute over this issue as well. There were riots-like situation a year back, and in fact at that point in time the government had to intervene in this very matter, and in fact now the case is ironically in the Waqf tribunal. Remember, Shravan, this is so ironic that the land belongs to Hindus and the decision-making authority out here is the Waqf tribunal, who is to decide that the property belongs to Waqf or to the community of Hindu, to the followers of Nath community, the follow-up of Hindus, Shravan.
Well, if you could also check with the temple authorities there, have they actually approached a local court challenging the decisions that have been taken so far? And what's the legal status of the case?
Right, Shravan, I will just take that question. मौजूदा वक्त में जब ये बात आपको पता चली तो कोर्ट का क्या ऑब्जर्वेशन था? आप लोगों ने क्या कोर्ट के पास गए थे और क्या कुछ कोर्ट ने आपको ऑर्डर दिया था?
हम कोर्ट में नहीं गए थे, वही उनके दोनों मुसलमानों के दोनों के बीच में एक मैटर चला था 2005 में। हाँ। कि 2004 में मैटर चालू हुआ था कि कोर्ट में उन्होंने किया था कि वो जो जिसके नाम पे पहले ज़मीन थी वो मर गया, उसके बाद उन्होंने उसकी लड़की और उसके पुतने में झगड़ा हो गया, तो वो बोला मेरे को ज़मीन करनी है, तो कोर्ट में वो दोनों गए। तो दोनों कोर्ट में गए तो कोर्ट ने उसमें ऑब्जर्वेशन दिया कि 2010 में उसका निकाल लगा, तो निकाल में कोर्ट का ऑब्जर्वेशन है कि ये जो पूरी ज़मीन है ये पूरी की पूरी कानिपनाथ देवस्थान की है, उसमें ये जो शेक करके 2 लोग लड़ रहे हैं, तो ये दोनों भी मैनेजर के व्यवस्थापक करके वो दोनों है, वो ज़मीन उनकी नहीं है, तो वो कानिपनाथ देवस्थान की ज़मीन है। मौजूदा
वक्त में चूंकि विवाद 2 कम्युनिटी का है, तो अभी आप लोग कहाँ पर इस लड़ाई को लड़ रहे हैं लीगली? कैसे ये क्लेम कर रहे हैं कि ये जो देवस्थान की जो टेम्पल की जो ज़मीन है वो आप ही लोगों की है या देवस्थान की है?
ये पुराने ज़माने में जो अंग्रेज़ों के ज़माने में जो कलेक्टर होते थे, उन्होंने उसका रिवेन्यूशन किया था ना, तो उसमें उन्होंने एक एलिनेशन पेपर करके एक पेपर है, तो उसमें साफ तौर पे लिखा है कि वो ये कान्यभाव उर्फ कानिपनाथ देवस्थान की ज़मीन है, उस पर बिबन वाइफ ऑफ शंकर भाई ये वो मैनेजर है, मैनेजर करके उन्होंने उस टाइम पे उसका एफिडेविट लिया था। उसमें वो खुद लिखता है कि ये मेरे पास व्यवस्था के लिए दी गई है,
केयर टेकिंग के लिए। अभी मौजूदा वक्त में कहाँ पर ये मैटर चल रहा है? कोर्ट ने आप लोगों को क्या आदेश दिए? क्या इसमें कुछ पूजा पाठ करने पर पाबंदी लगाई है? क्या लोगों पर पाबंदी लगाई है?
हमारे गांव में 19 लोगों के लिए पाबंदी है मंदिर में पूजा पाठ करने के लिए, और ग्राम पंचायत के सदस्य को भी है। उसमें कोर्ट में अभी वो ऑर्डर पास किया है, तो उसमें वो ट्रिब्यूनल कोर्ट में वो मैटर चल रहा है अभी आगे भी। और उसके बाद हमारे जो कानिपनाथ देवस्थान का ट्रस्ट बना है उसको कैंसिल करने के लिए उन्होंने पुणे में केस दाखिल किया।
अंबेडकर जी, इसके ठीक बगल में देखिए ये जो एक दरगाह जैसा स्ट्रक्चर जो है वो बनाया गया है, तो इसके बारे में बताइए कि क्या ये एक षड्यंत्र था कि एक दरगाह बनाने का षड्यंत्र था ताकि ये बता सके कि ये कानिफनाथ टेम्पल नहीं बल्कि दरगाह, ऐसा कुछ?
वो यही साबित करना चाहते हैं कि ये कानिपनाथ मंदिर नहीं, ये रमजान शाह बाबा की दरगाह है। तो हमने उनसे ये भी पूछा था कि आप बताइए कि आपकी दरगाह है, हमें मानने, मगर आप एक कागज़ दिखाइए कि वो ग्राम पंचायत में कागज़ है क्या आपके पास कि ग्राम पंचायत में नोंद है आपके रमजान शाह बाबा की, उस पर भी नोंद नहीं है, तलाटी ऑफिस पे नहीं है, रेवेन्यू डिपार्टमेंट में कहीं नोंद नहीं है, तो कुछ नहीं है उनके पास, किसी बात का कोई कागज़ ही नहीं है। जिद बोलते हैं वो हवा में बोलते हैं।
ठीक है, तो Shravan, you just heard the trustees and the members of temple trustee, as they mentioned that this case is with the Waqf tribunal. You know, ironically, the Hindus does not have to do anything with Waqf, but ultimately they have to fight for their rights in the Waqf tribunal. And currently the tribunal has in fact banned 19 people.
Well, in fact, this is just one such instance that we're talking from the state of Maharashtra. Thank you very much, Sandeep, for getting us that report from Maharashtra. Let's also take you through the other stories coming in from other states. In fact, it's just not what we are witnessing in the state of Karnataka. A short while back, we just showed you what's really happening in Maharashtra. Now, let's move to Jammu, where a Hindu family residing on alleged Waqf land, this is in the Wazarat Road in Jammu, that too back since 1947, has now been ordered to vacate that land immediately, prompting them to basically seek urgent government intervention to retain their own home. Now, the BJP has alleged a targeted effort to replace all Hindu families from that very area, adding to growing concerns around that very property disputes over the Waqf land. Take a look at this report coming in from Jammu.
जम्मू शहर के बीचों बीच दलपतिया मोहल्ले में एक परिवार जो कि 1947 से यहाँ पर रह रहा था, वक्फ की तरफ से अब उन्हें कहा जा रहा है कि इस जगह को खाली किया जाए। अब परिवार जो है जो कि एक कमरे में रह रहा था, उन्हें इलाका खाली करने का, जगह खाली करने का आदेश जो है वक्फ की तरफ से सुनाया गया है। परिवार जो है वो अब चिंता में है क्योंकि ये नहीं जानता कि आखिरकार अब इन्हें जाना कहाँ है, इनका अगला आशियाना कहाँ पर होगा। दो अलग अलग कमरे हैं यहाँ पर जहाँ पर ये परिवार रहता है। परिवार में बच्चे भी हैं। परिवार को अब ये समझ नहीं आ रहा कि हिंदू परिवार जब इतने समय से यहाँ रह रहा था तो अब आखिरकार कहाँ पर जाएगा। परिवार के कुछ सदस्य हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं। मैडम, आपका नाम?
बबली देवी।
आप कब से आप लोग यहाँ रह रहे हैं?
हम 1947 से रह रहे थे। पहले हमारा सोहरा रहता था, फिर हमारा दादा रहता था, फिर हमारा सोहरा रहता था। अब हमें आगे बच्चे हैं हमारे, 1947 के हम किराया देने को तैयार हैं, बंद किया है। हमें जे गवर्नमेंट अगे चाहते हैं कि आएंगे इधर ही 5-5 मरले जगह दी जाए, सारा गुजारा जेड़ा होया जाए,
गुजारा यहाँ पे किया जाए। माता जी, आप अकेले यहाँ पर रहते?
मेरे एक बेटा ही, इसकी देख लो डेथ हुई है। ये मैं तो बिल्कुल नहीं रो रही हूँ, मेरा तो कोई आया ही नहीं है।
अभी आपको क्या कहा गया उनके तरफ से, वक्फ की तरफ से?
आप कह रहे हो आरसपुरा में जाओ,
यहाँ से जगह खाली कर।
हाँ जी।
तो कोई कारण बताया गया है आपको जगह क्यों खाली की?
नहीं, हमको कोई कारण नहीं बताया गया, बस यही कहते हैं दफ्तर में जाते हैं कि परसों हम काम लगाएंगे, हम जेसीपी लाएंगे, खाली करवाना है आपको, यहाँ से खाली करके आरएसपुरा भेजेंगे। हमने बोला आरएसपुरा में हमारा कोई गुजारा नहीं है, हमने वहाँ पे रहना नहीं है, हमारा यही पे जन्म परम हुआ है, हमारा फ्यूचर यहाँ पे है, स्कूल हमारा यहाँ पे है, तो हमारा खाली करके गाँव जाने का और कोई गुजारा नहीं है।
अपनी मर्जी से आते हैं, हमें कुछ नहीं बताते, फोटो शोटो खींच लेते हैं, हमारा यहाँ ही फैसला किया जाए।
कोई रिटर्न नोटिस दिया गया?
कुछ नहीं दिया गया सर,
सिर्फ बोलते हैं।
बोलते हैं हमें आपको जगह दे देंगे, आरएसपुरा कमरा डाल देंगे, कुछ कर देंगे, पर हम यहाँ ही रहते हैं। 47 से हमारा गुजारा नहीं चलेगा। गांव में, शहर छोड़ के गांव में कैसे काम करेंगे? हम रडी शाबा लगाते हैं, रडी शाबा लगा के पापा दिहाड़ी का काम करते हैं, हम कहाँ पे मकान बनाएंगे?
कहाँ पे मकान बनाएंगे? आप समझ सकते हैं कि परिवार जो है कहीं ना कहीं ये अलग अलग परिवार हैं। 2 घर हैं इनके आसपास, अब मतलब 2 कमरे हैं जहाँ पे ये लोग रहते हैं, लेकिन अब इनके लिए मुसीबत ये है कि इन्हें ये कहा जा रहा है कि घर जो है वो खाली कर दिए जाएं, बुलडोज़र लाया जाएगा, इस तरह की बात इन्हें कही जा रही है। लेकिन अगर आधिकारिक तौर पर बात करें तो ना इन्हें कोई नोटिस दिया गया है और ना ही इनका जो है वक्फ की तरफ से कहा गया है या रिटन तौर पर दिया गया है कि कहीं इन्हें एकोमोडेट किया जाएगा।
Well, in fact, shifting now from Jammu to Madhya Pradesh, as we've been indicating that this is not just about one particular state, multiple states, similar sort of problems. Now, shifting focus to Madhya Pradesh, where you have the Waqf Board, which is challenging the government control over numerous graveyards and mosques, including a specific property that is leased to Bhopal's Ashbagh police station. Now, according to the Waqf Board chairman there, Sanwar Patel, a former rent agreement was basically signed in the year 2021, and they say that the dues are unpaid, impacting the board's resources for other responsibilities. Now, this claim is one of the 47 properties the board is contesting in the court. Take a look at this exclusive report now coming in from Madhya Pradesh. As we've been pointing out that this is not just about one particular state, multiple states, similar problems, and that is the reason why the government has essentially been indicating the need for an amendment to the Waqf bill.
बदरुद्दीन अजमल के दावे के बाद एक नई बहस छिड़ गई है, क्योंकि उन्होंने कहा कि नई संसद भवन जो है वो वक्फ की जमीन पर बनी है। मेरे पीछे आप जो बिल्डिंग देख रहे हैं ये पुलिस हेडक्वार्टर है, पुलिस मुख्यालय है, और वक्फ बोर्ड ये दावा करता है कि ये जो है कब्रिस्तान की जमीन पर बना हुआ है और इस पर वक्फ का दावा है। हालांकि ऐसी न सिर्फ पुलिस मुख्यालय बल्कि पुलिस कंट्रोल रूम, इसके अलावा कई सरकारी अस्पताल और कई ऐसी इमारतें जिसमें वक्फ का दावा है, जिसके की कोर्ट में मामले लंबित चल रहे हैं। ऐसी 47 से ज्यादा प्रॉपर्टीज हैं जिनमें ये मामले लंबित हैं, जिस पर वक्फ अपना दावा करता है और सरकार अपना दावा करती है। वक्फ का ये कहना है कि उन्हें इन बिल्डिंग को, जहां पर ये PHQ में जो पुलिस मुख्यालय जो है ये संचालित हो रहा है, इसके बदले में वक्फ बोर्ड को किराया मिलना चाहिए, लेकिन वो नहीं मिल रहा है। इसी तरह के विवाद कोर्ट में लंबित है और वक्फ बोर्ड ये दावा भी करता है कि कोर्ट उनके पक्ष में फैसला सुनाएगा। लेकिन हम आपको जो बताना चाह रहे हैं वो ये कि 47 ऐसी प्रॉपर्टी हैं जिस पर कि वक्फ के दावे हैं। उनका ये कहना है कि ये जो जगह है ये उनकी है और इसलिए बदले में उन्हें किराया मिलना चाहिए। कुछ दस्तावेज भी वक्फ बोर्ड ने हमें दिखाए, जैसे कि ऐशबाग थाने का किरायानामा उन्होंने दिखाया, जिसमें यह तय हुआ था कि 20,000 किराया हर महीने दिया जाएगा वक्फ बोर्ड को, लेकिन ऐसा ऐशबाग पुलिस नहीं कर रही है। तो ये जो बहस है ये अपनी जगह है, लेकिन वक्फ एक्ट में संशोधन की भी बात हो रही है और इसी के चलते हम ग्राउंड जीरो से आपको ये रिपोर्ट दिखा रहे हैं, जिसमें हम बताने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि मध्य प्रदेश में भी, खासकर भोपाल में, कई ऐसी प्रॉपर्टीज हैं जिस पर वक्फ के दावे किए जाते हैं कि ये प्रॉपर्टी उनकी है, लेकिन सरकार का अपना तर्क होता है। कैमरामैन संजय अंकिल के साथ सत्यवीर सिंह, रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क, भोपाल।
Well, now from Madhya Pradesh, let's move to Kerala. A similar sort of situation is now brewing, where residents of Munnabam in Kerala's coastal belt are in complete shock after learning that the Waqf Board has laid claim to over 400 acres of their land, that too back in 2022. Community members, including those who are near Velankari Maita Church, expressed anxiety to Republic over these sudden claim and fearing there could be massive displacement. There have been protests taking place over the last few weeks over this entire issue, hoping that the government would essentially intervene in this entire matter. Take a look at this report now coming in from the state of Kerala.
The sudden claim by the Waqf Board that the land between Munambam and Cherai belongs to them, almost 104 acres which is now existing, has caused so much pain to 110 plus residents over here. Shanta is suffering from Parkinson. 72-year-old Shanta is now living in this very small house, a family of 4, including his son Liju and his wife and kid. They have been living here, and although the government had sanctioned them under the Life Mission to rebuild the house, the entire case has halted their entire possibility of building this home up. They all are living, 4 of them are living in a single room over here inside this house, and Liju is the only breadwinner of the family, and there are expenses for the family because of the mother's condition. So this is a situation, many homes like this are waiting in anticipation for a relief, and that can only come with the Joint Parliamentary Committee and the amendment that has been intended to be brought in the Waqf law in the country as well. With video journalist Mani S from Munambam, Ashwin Nandakumar, Republic TV.
Can believe this now, because we were living here peacefully for decades and for generations. And what happened all of a sudden when some of our people went to village office to pay the tax, they are telling that because of some government circulars, the collection of tax is banned.
Is it true that after this 2022 incident, that there are many problems that has been faced by the community, by the people living here, including not availability of loan, no education loan, and other problems? What are those problems?
Our total life is stuck here, because we don't have any value that we believed that when the government has given us a Patayam or Aadhar, what we call in Malayalam, that has value because it is stamped and it is recognized by the government. And when we hear that one day that we were having all these things, the ownership certificate is banned and we don't have any ownership over our land, which we purchased from the previous owner long years back as the demanded by we paid the money and everything. Now our total life is stuck here.
This feels like there is some kind of dark force behind this operation, the entire procedure. Do you believe that there is some kind of vicious force behind this and behind the Waqf itself? Do you think some anti-India forces are there behind this? Because it's unbelievable that something like this is happening in Kerala.
Most definitely, because when you see the 1995 Waqf Act, the amendments brought there, no normal person with any common sense would accept such amendments, because those laws are draconian in the sense, why would somebody can just come and claim your property just because they sat there for 2 hours or half a day? They can come and say, oh, this land belongs to me. That is almost what has happened here to all these poor people who are facing misery from the last so many years, because the law allows them to do it. It is only since 1995 this has become so drastic. Until then, they knew they could go to a civil court. But today, no civil court can help you, because it needs an act of parliament, and that is why all the people assembled here needs to go to the parliament.
Well, truly it's turning out to be a Waqf emergency in several states, starting all the way from Jammu and Kashmir to Karnataka to Kerala. We've got multiple reports coming in, people now essentially complaining about the fact that if this essentially continues, they're going to lose hold over their own property. And that is the reason why the amendment that has essentially been suggested essentially addresses some of these key concerns. We'll take you through more reports in the course of the day as we carry out a pan-India investigation to tell you what's really happening on the ground. Israel confirms the operations in Iran now completed, reiterates right to defense self-stance.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. yet another top ranking for Amity University.
China announced a dramatic detent this week with a border patrolling agreement on Ladakh, which led to first in 5 years meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi on the sidelines of the BRICS summit in Russia. Does that mean we can normalize? If yes, how do we capitalize? Can we trust the Chinese, or do we just learn to live with an expansionist bully even as we build a stronger economic muscle? Also, in the penultimate week of the campaign, what's with this Christian agenda in the United States polls? Join me this weekend on your favorite deep dive show, Get Me Right, only on Republic TV.
There have been 1,357 incidents of terror in Jammu and Kashmir, which have resulted in casualties. As these attacks are increasingly desperately as the cover of winter nears, and the Pakistanis will be doing their classic and stale and pathetic trick of trying to push through terrorists en masse into Kashmir, which has been largely peaceful since the blood business of Azadi has been shut down in Jammu and Kashmir, and the lifeline of Islamabad has been asphyxiated. We need to adopt a much more aggressive strategy militarily to counter Pakistan. If we deliberate at a time like this, we can finish the job in days, not even weeks. We are calling the global shots. We are part of the global power play, and I think the time for the final solution is here.
And thank you for tuning in. You're watching Live and Breaking at 3:30. I'm Suesha Sawant. Yes, it is the Waqf emergency that has taken center stage. The Waqf Board, out of nowhere, has gone on to claim 47 properties that are controlled by the government. We'll get to details and pan-India reports that are exclusive to Republic. First, a quick check of the headlines. Nationwide emergency over Waqf arbitrarily claiming lands after Karnataka. Now Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra report similar cases.
हिंदू समाज की एकता ये संघ के जीवन व्रत है। हम इसका आग्रहपूर्वक कहेंगे और उसके लिए करेंगे भी। और हिंदू एकता लोक कल्याण के लिए है। हिंदू सबके लिए सुख प्रदान करेगा।
General Secretary of RSS, Dattatreya Hosebale, has backed for Hindu unity. He said that there are efforts to divide Hindus. Trouble mounts for CM Siddaramaiah. Lokayukt officials expected to summon him soon in the Muda scam case. Amid targeted attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh, Hindus hold massive Chittagong rally demanding minority rights. Israel pounds Iranian military targets. 2 soldiers killed. Iranian sources say country prepared to respond to Israeli aggression. First up, we get you a big statement that has been made by the General Secretary of the RSS, Dattatreya, who has backed for Hindu unity. In fact, he's also gone on to say that there is an attempt to divide Hindus. Let's listen in to that statement.
स्लोगन कुछ में कटेंगे बटेंगे जो भी कहें, स्पिरिट क्या है? हिंदू समाज एकता से एकात्मता से नहीं रहेगा तो इतिहास कहता है। अब हम तो कहते हैं जब जब हिंदू भाव को भूले आए विपद महान, भाई टूटे धरती कोई मिटे ही धर्म संस्थान, ये हमारे गीत है। तो उसको आजकल की भाषा में ऐसे आपने जो कहा वैसे हो सकता है। तो मुद्दा क्या है? स्पिरिट यही है, समाज की एकता एकात्मता। हम जाति भाषा प्रांत के अगर पिछड़ा भेद से हम करेंगे तो हम कटेंगे। तो इसलिए एकता आवश्यक है किसी भी राष्ट्र के, राष्ट्रीय एकता। दूसरी बात यह है कि हम ऐसे बनाए रहे तो समाज में इसके लिए केवल एक उपदेश से होता तो अब तक हो जाता, प्रयत्न करना पड़ता है, उसके लिए आचरण में लाना है। अच्छी बात है आज बहुत सारे धार्मिक और बाकी क्षेत्र के लोग इसको अनुभव से समझ रहे हैं और उसका स्वागत भी कर रहे हैं। इसलिए हिंदू समाज की एकता ये संघ के जीवन व्रत है। हम इसका आग्रहपूर्वक कहेंगे और उसके लिए करेंगे भी। और हिंदू एकता लोक कल्याण के लिए है। हिंदू सबके लिए सुख प्रदान करेगा, दुनिया में किसी भी देश के संकट के लिए। तो इसलिए हिंदू एकता आवश्यक है, अपने को भी बनाए रखना, बचाए रखना और दुनिया को भी मंगल करना। इसलिए हम हिंदू एकता चाहते हैं, इसमें कोई दो मत नहीं, दो राय नहीं। और हिंदुओं को तोड़ने के लिए शक्तियां काम करती हैं, तो उससे आगाह करना पड़ता है, उसके लिए सावधानी रखनी पड़ती है। वो कई प्रकार की शक्तियां हैं। तो वो हिंदू को जाति के नाम पर तोड़ेंगे, विचारधारा के नाम पर जोड़ेंगे और किसी नाम पर जोड़ेंगे, तो उसको हमें सावधान रहना पड़ता है।
And we got across to more breaking news coming in. Well, sources suggest that Rahul Gandhi pulled up Maharashtra leaders over seat sharing, that Congress did not bargain over the seats with other entities of the Mahavikas Aghadi. Rahul Gandhi has expressed displeasure over the way this bargaining was done. Rahul Gandhi is also of the opinion that Congress leaders did not play the right role when these talks were conducted. It is felt that Congress did not get any benefit in the talks with Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray faction and NCP Sharad Pawar faction is what Rahul Gandhi has indicated. This of course has been told to us by our sources, that with regards to seat sharing in the Mahavikas Aghadi, unsettlement that continues. And Rahul Gandhi has pulled up the Maharashtra Congress leaders, saying that they were unsuccessful in being able to bargain a larger pie of the share. Remember Uddhav Thackeray, who did say that it is certainly the Uddhav faction that should be given more seats, and while he remained adamant, the Congress that did have to budge. Let me cut across to Sandeep, who joins us on the broadcast. Sandeep, do take us through the final seat sharing formula that has been devised, but also how Rahul Gandhi has pulled up the Maharashtra Congress leaders, saying that they were unsuccessful in bargaining a larger seat share.
See, the question, Suesha, out here is that, if at all Rahul Gandhi is upset with the state Congress cadre, who got into the pressure of Uddhav Thackeray? Who got into the pressure of Sharad Pawar? Was it the state Congress leadership, or was it the central leadership of the Congress party? So this is the question that, that needs to be asked to Congress party. The question remains the same. Remember, as far as Nana Patole is concerned, the state Congress chief, he was in fact making an effort within the Mahavikas Aghadi to get more and more seats. But ultimately, he was threatened by Sanjay Raut and Uddhav Thackeray over, breaking of the alliance, and there were multiple threats that were given by Uddhav Thackeray's camp. That if at all Congress party, shows eye to Uddhav Sena, then there are chances that Mahavikas Aghadi could break up. And ultimately, the central leadership had to put forward Bala Saheb Thorat to do the seat sharing discussion with Uddhav Sena and Sharad Pawar. So ultimately, who is Rahul Gandhi blaming to? Is it Nana Patole, or is it Bala Saheb Thorat, who in fact was not able to get the seat that Rahul Gandhi was aspiring for the state Congress should have gotten? So ultimately, there are a lot of confusions within the Congress party itself when we talk about the seat sharing. Suesha, we need to understand that Congress party wants more seats, but they are in a position that they also do not want to upset their alliance partner, because what happened in Haryana, they do not want to repeat it in Maharashtra. So ultimately, yes, after the Lok Sabha elections, the Congress party had got good support, but ultimately whether they will be able to encash that in assembly elections, that is what we have to watch out for, Suesha.
Not just that, Sandeep. In fact, their own allies called out the Congress party for its poor performance in the Haryana polls. We wait and watch how the MVA story develops. For the moment, thank you for joining us. And we now shift our focus to more breaking news coming in. Yes, Gujarat ATS has arrested a civilian from Porbandar in an espionage matter. One person based out of Porbandar city was passing on information about the Indian Coast Guard's deployment and placements and other sensitive information to Pakistan forces. More details and visuals that will play out shortly from now, as it is alleged that accused passed on information to Pakistani forces. Priyanka will join us shortly to take us through the latest details. But remember, this is coming in from Gujarat, where the ATS has arrested one person in an espionage matter. He was allegedly passing information to Pakistani forces, and he has now been nabbed. He has been nabbed by the Gujarat ATS, and he was passing information about Indian Coast Guard's deployment and placements and other sensitive information to Pakistan. Alright, we'll tell you more on that story, but for the moment we also shift our focus to the biggest story of the day. Yes, this is after Republic exposed a sinister Waqf plot to usurp farmers' land. This happened in Congress-ruled state of Karnataka, where similar stories that also started unfolding in other parts of the country. Now, in UP, they have claimed ownership over land where a 250-year-old temple is made, and it holds a lot of cultural and historical significance. Similarly, in Kerala, where they have claimed ownership to 400 acres of land that also has a church. Let's take a look at the pan-India story and what the Waqf Board is doing. After farmers in Karnataka alleged pressure from the local administration to register land with the Waqf Board, a similar story has come to light in Uttar Pradesh. It is alleged that the Waqf has claimed multiple land chunks and properties in Lucknow. According to sources, the properties for which the Waqf is claiming ownership rights includes a Hindu temple. The Lal Shivalay Kubre Baba temple is situated in Lucknow's Sadatganj Mamala. Locals have claimed the temple, which has been in existence for more than 250 years, is now on the radar of the body that calls itself the custodian of land and properties donated by the Muslim Brethren for charity.
It's a very surprising story in Lucknow where 250 years old temple is being claimed by a Waqf Board. They are telling it is their property. It's been from 250 years old temple, and the important part is that local residents, they are very aggressive on this. They are telling that they are watching this temple from their childhood. They have heard stories from their forefathers about this temple. There used to be a Kubre Baba who used to do worship over there. He established that temple. That's the story we are getting from the local resident. But now after 2060, suddenly the Waqf Board started claiming its own property to that land. That's what local residents are saying. They are telling they are very angry on this. They are very upset with this. And even the important most part is that the Muslim family who went against Waqf Board to the court to establish that's not a Waqf Board's property, but it's a property of Hindu temple. They are fighting this case against Waqf Board. So this is a very surprising story happened against the Waqf Board in Uttar Pradesh.
Locals allege that the plot on which the temple stands was sold to departed gangster turned politician Mukhtar Ansari's wife Afsa Ansari in 2016. They claimed some plotting activity was carried out after the transfer of land, but the matter has since been in court pending arbitration.
ये तो सिर्फ शिवालय का ही मंदिर है।
आप बताएं, आप क्या कहेंगे इसके लिए?
ये बहुत पूर्वजों की तरफ से हमारा चला आ रहा है मंदिर, और इसमें वक़्फ का कोई सवाल ही नहीं उठता है।
हमको तो ये मैम सर अभी कल ही मालूम हुआ, मोहल्ले वाले बता रहे वक़्फ है वक़्फ है। वक़्फ कुछ नहीं है, जिंदगी भर से देख रहा हूँ मंदिर में पूजा हो रही है, पूजा पाठ होती है, कोई भी त्योहार होता है, सब इसमें 5-6 मंदिर बने हुए हैं। सब भैरव जी का मंदिर, काली जी का मंदिर, दुर्गा जी का मंदिर, हनुमान जी का मंदिर, इतने मंदिर हैं। हम अपने बचपनों से देख रहे हैं, मेरे बाप दादा देखते आ रहे हैं। बाबा तक की हमारे बाप यहाँ आते थे जब बैठते थे, भंडारा होता था। मैं बचपन में इसमें भंडारा खाया हूँ। ये कोई वक़्फ की संपत्ति नहीं है, हिंदू समाज की धार्मिक संपत्ति है।
Earlier, your channel had exposed a potential land grab by the Waqf in Karnataka after several farmers alleged pressure to give up land they had rightfully owned and tilled for generations. Amid the Waqf's bid to lay claim to properties on a whim, the anxious question crossing several minds is, what's next on their radar? As Diwali approaches, Delhi's air quality has shown slight improvement, though it remains concerning. Air quality index recorded 237, down from 283 from the previous day. Certain areas like Jahangirpuri still have high pollution levels and AQI readings at 265. Authorities warn that pollution may worsen as Diwali nears. Farmers are planning a one-day protest in Punjab, staging road blockades at 4 locations to demand timely paddy procurement and address other grievances, led by the Bharatiya Kisan Union Punjab. The protest will begin at 1 p.m. with indefinite sit-ins in Sangrur, Moga, Phagwara and Batala. Union Minister Rabneet Singh Bittu criticized the Aam Aadmi Party for not supporting farmers, alleging pressure from Delhi government to file FIRs against them, escalating tensions amid ongoing issues. Former Punjab Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh visited Mandi and found that farmers reported the government was not purchasing paddy and payments were delayed.
10-10 दिन 12-12 दिन की तो पैडी पड़ी है, सूख रही है, लोगों को नुकसान हो रहा है
और थोड़ी सी कई बारिश आ जाए तो बिल्कुल ही तबाह हो जाएंगे वो। तो ये बातें मैंने देखी, तो उसके बाद वो बता रहे थे कि परचेस नहीं हो रही, किसी को पैसा नहीं मिल रहा, और मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही क्यों नहीं मिल रहा, क्योंकि जो पता लग रहा है कि 44,000 करोड़ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने भेज दी है, तो फिर कहीं गए फिर लोगों को क्यों नहीं देते? उनको दो और उनकी पैडी उठाओ। अगर आपके पास स्टोरेज स्पेस नहीं है तो बनाओ।
A search operation is underway to trace the accused in recent Gulmarg terror attack, which resulted in the deaths of 2 Indian Army soldiers and 2 civilian porters. The attack occurred on 24th October when terrorists targeted an army vehicle in Baramulla district. The Indian Army's Chinar Corps confirmed an exchange of fire between soldiers and terrorists in the area. The incident follows a separate attack where a labourer was shot and injured in Jammu and Kashmir. In a first in a decade, Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists used a rocket to target an Indian Army convoy in Gulmarg. Indian Army sources report while the rocket landed near the Army vehicle without a direct hit, it marks an escalation in tactics. Intelligence has indicated regular attempts by Pakistan to push rockets across the line of control into Jammu and Kashmir. Just last month, on September 11, nearly a dozen rockets and launchers were recovered from the Tehran sector in Kupwara, underscoring growing concerns over cross-border arms smuggling. In Jharkhand, Congress in charge Ajoy Kumar accused Odisha Governor and former Chief Minister of Jharkhand Raghubar Das of actively campaigning for his daughter-in-law in the upcoming elections. Kumar has urged the Chief Election Commissioner to restrain Das from participating in active politics, claiming he is violating the Model Code of Conduct. In Uttar Pradesh, the Congress party has removed Suresh Chandar Yadav as the Prayagraj unit chief for filing a nomination against the party's decision in the Phulpur Assembly by-elections. Following this, the Indian bloc has fielded Mujtaba Siddiqui as its candidate for the polls. Lokayukt is likely to issue a notice against Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in a case involving Muda land allocations. The Lokayukt has registered an FIR against Siddaramaiah, making him the primary accused in the investigation concerning the allocation of land sites to his wife Parvati. Lokayukt officials are preparing to summon him as they advance their inquiry. A private bus caught fire in Maharashtra's Kolhapur, resulting in 1 death. The bus was travelling from Belgaum to Pune when it suddenly caught fire. Fortunately, all other passengers managed to escape in time, but one individual got trapped inside and died. The bus was completely reduced to ashes in the incident. And well, after the Lokayukt police grilled Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's wife Parvati, this in connection to the Muda scam on Friday, top sources indicate that Lokayukt has registered an FIR against Karnataka Chief Minister in the Muda land case, and he is all set to be summoned soon. We are getting you all the details in this report.
Fresh trouble for Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. The Lokayukta police has registered an FIR against him in the Muda land scam case. This follows after Lokayukta police questioned Siddaramaiah's wife B.N. Parvati for 2 hours yesterday. Remember, Siddaramaiah's wife has been listed as accused number 2 in this case. It is alleged that compensatory sites were allotted to Siddaramaiah's wife in an upscale area of Mysuru, which has a higher property value compared to her land that was acquired by Muda. The Muda had allotted plots to Parvati under a 50-50 ratio scheme in exchange for 3.16 acres of her land, where it developed a residential layout. Lokayukta officials will soon summon Siddaramaiah to further the inquiry.
And well, Israel strikes back at Iran. Israel's attack on Iran is unfolding in multiple stages with a second wave of strikes that is underway. IDF has confirmed it had hit military targets. Here's what has happened.
Israel launched airstrikes on Iran early Saturday, targeting military sites in retaliation for a ballistic missile assault on October the 1st. no immediate information received on the damage within the Islamic Republic. An IDF spokesman announced that the Israeli Defense Forces completed a targeted attack against military targets in several areas of Iran. The IDF further stated that their aircraft returned home safely and confirmed that the retaliatory mission was fulfilled.
I can now confirm that we have concluded the Israeli response to Iran's attack against Israel. We conducted targeted and precise strikes on military targets in Iran, thwarting immediate threats to the State of Israel. The Israel Defense Forces has fulfilled its mission. If the regime in Iran were to make the mistake of beginning a new round of escalation, we will be obligated to respond. Our message is clear. All those who threaten the State of Israel and seek to drag the region into wider escalation will pay a heavy price. We demonstrated today that we have both the capability and the resolve to act decisively, and we are prepared on offense and defense to defend the State of Israel and the people of Israel.
The strike was conducted in response to attacks by the Iranian regime against the State of Israel and its citizens in recent months. Based on the intelligence, IDF aircraft targeted missile manufacturing facilities that were used to produce missiles that Iran fired at Israel over the past year. These missiles posed a direct and immediate threat to Israeli citizens. Iran fired hundreds of missiles directly at Israel during attacks in April and October, and it funds and directs terrorist activities through proxies across the Middle East to target Israel and its citizens.
And well, officials stated that a Russian drone struck a multi-story residential building in the Ukrainian capital of Kiev on Friday evening, triggering a massive fire in the top floors and killing one person. Getting you all the details in this report.
One person was killed and several others injured following a Russian drone attack on a multi-story residential building in Ukraine's Kyiv. Ukraine's emergency services reported significant damage to several apartments, prompting evacuations. In a swift response, fire crews were dispatched to the site where a fire had broken out on the upper floors of the building due to the strike. The mayor confirmed that approximately 100 people were evacuated from the high-rise after explosions were heard in the national capital. Air defense units were active during an hour-long raid alert, and 2 hours later, another alert was declared for incoming drones. Just yesterday, Russia launched 2 waves of drones targeting the Ukrainian capital, marking the 15th air attack on Kyiv this month. City military administrator Sherry Popko reported that more than a dozen drones were intercepted over the city during the strike, which lasted around 4 hours.
A Hindu family in the Dalpatia Mohalla of Jammu has been asked by the Waqf Board to vacate the land they have been living for more than 7 decades, and now the family says that they urge the government to take the necessary action as they have no place to go, nowhere to live, and without any eviction notice, the Waqf officials are visiting them, taking the photographs of their place and also threatening them to bring the JCB to dismantle their structure. For more, stay tuned to Republic TV right after this short break.
Director, the taste of success.
Since 2014, there have been 1,357 incidents of terror in Jammu and Kashmir, which have resulted in casualties. As these attacks are increasingly desperately as the cover of winter nears, and the Pakistanis will be doing their classic and stale and pathetic trick of trying to push through terrorists en masse into Kashmir, which has been largely peaceful since the blood business of Azadi has been shut down in Jammu and Kashmir, and the lifeline of Islamabad has been asphyxiated. We need to adopt a much more aggressive strategy militarily to counter Pakistan. If we deliberate at a time like this, we can finish the job in days, not even weeks. We are calling the global shots. We are part of the global power play, and I think the time for the final solution is here.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Thousands of acres allegedly grabbed by the Waqf Board. A national Waqf emergency appears to have now set in. Reports coming in from multiple states, not just in Karnataka. Here on Republic TV, we take you through these multiple ground reports to show you what's really happening on the ground and how exactly is the Waqf Board being held guilty. First, take a look at the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Nationwide emergency over Waqf arbitrarily claiming land after Karnataka. Now Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra reports similar cases. General Secretary of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, Dattatreya Hosbale, backs for Hindu unity, says there are efforts to divide Hindus. Trouble mounts for Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. Lokayukta officials expected to summon him soon in the Muda scam case. Amid targeted attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh, Hindus hold a massive Chittagong rally demanding minority rights. Israel pounds Iranian military targets. 2 soldiers killed. Iranian sources say country prepared to respond to Israeli aggression. We're starting this edition with some statement coming in from the RSS. This is a statement that has been made by the General Secretary of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, Dattatreya Hosbale, where he backs for Hindu unity. In fact, he has also gone on to say that there is an attempt to divide Hindus. First, listen in to the statement that has come in from the RSS.
उसमें कटेंगे बटेंगे जो भी कहें, स्पिरिट क्या है, हिंदू समाज एकता से एकात्मता से नहीं रहेगा तो इतिहास कहता है, अब हम तो कहते हैं जब जब हिंदू भाव को भूले आए विपद महान, भाई टूटे धरती कोई मिटे ही धर्म संस्थान, ये हमारे गीत है। तो उसको आजकल की भाषा में ऐसे आपने जो कहा वैसे हो सकता है। तो मुद्दा क्या है, स्पिरिट यही है, समाज की एकता एकात्मता। हम जाति भाषा प्रांत के अगर पिछड़ा भेद से हम करेंगे तो हम कटेंगे। तो इसलिए एकता आवश्यक है किसी भी राष्ट्र के, राष्ट्रीय एकता। दूसरी बात यह है कि हम ऐसे बनाए रहे तो समाज में इसके लिए केवल एक उपदेश से होता तो अब तक हो जाता, प्रयत्न करना पड़ता है, उसके लिए आचरण में लाना है। अच्छी बात है आज बहुत सारे धार्मिक और बाकी क्षेत्र के लोग इसको अनुभव से समझ रहे हैं और उसका स्वागत भी कर रहे हैं। इसलिए हिंदू समाज की एकता ये संघ के जीवन व्रत है। हम इसका आग्रहपूर्वक कहेंगे और उसके लिए करेंगे भी। और हिंदू एकता लोक कल्याण के लिए है, हिंदू सबके लिए सुख प्रदान करेगा, दुनिया में किसी भी देश के संकट के लिए। तो इसलिए हिंदू एकता आवश्यक है, अपने को भी बनाए रखना, बचाए रखना और दुनिया को भी मंगल करना। इसलिए हम हिंदू एकता चाहते हैं, इसमें कोई दो मत नहीं, दो राय नहीं। और हिंदुओं को तोड़ने के लिए शक्तियां काम करती हैं, तो उससे आगाह करना पड़ता है, उसके लिए सावधानी रखनी पड़ती है। वो कई प्रकार की शक्तियां हैं। तो हिंदू को जाति के नाम पर तोड़ेंगे, विचारधारा के नाम पर तोड़ेंगे और किसी नाम पर जोड़ेंगे, तो उसको हमें सावधान रहना पड़ता है।
Ladies and gentlemen, we brought to you a story coming in from the state of Karnataka, where villages were up in arms, claiming that about 15,000 acres were at stake, and this land was being usurped by the Waqf Board. So much so, it had a complete state action. In fact, you've had a senior Congress leader who's considered to be extremely close to the Chief Minister of Karnataka actually endorsed it. Now, this is not just one single isolated case of Karnataka, but it turns out similar is the situation from across various other states. What you see right now on your screen are multiple complaints actually coming in from places like Jammu, Bhopal, Lucknow and Munnambam in Kerala. In all of this, there is one common pattern. The pattern essentially being that land arbitrarily taken over by the Waqf Board. So much so, people are being rendered homeless. Some were now out on the streets demanding justice, hoping that there would be government intervention really coming in. Each of these cases that you see on your screens has a story to tell you about the Waqf. How exactly have they been operating and why the government essentially believes that there is a need to bring in amendment to the bill. First, take a look at this report that has come in from Jammu and then Bhopal, Lucknow and Kerala.
After farmers in Karnataka alleged pressure from the local administration to register land with the Waqf Board, a similar story has come to light in Uttar Pradesh. It is alleged that the Waqf has claimed multiple land chunks and properties in Lucknow. According to sources, the properties for which the Waqf is claiming ownership rights includes a Hindu temple. The Lal Shivalay Kubre Baba temple is situated in Lucknow's Sadatganj Pamala. Locals have claimed the temple, which has been in existence for more than 250 years, is now on the radar of the body that calls itself the custodian of land and properties donated by the Muslim Brethren for charity.
It's a very surprising story in Lucknow where 250 years old temple is being claimed by a Waqf Board. They are telling it is their property. It's been 250 years old temple, and the important part is that local residents, they are very aggressive on this. They are telling that they are watching this temple from their childhood. They have heard stories from their forefathers about this temple. There used to be Kubde Baba who used to do worship over there. He established that temple. That's the story we are getting from the local resident. But now after 2060, suddenly Waqf Board started claiming its own property to that land. That's what local residents are saying. They are telling they are very angry on this. They are very upset with this. And even the important most part is that the Muslim family who went against Waqf Board to the court to establish that's not a Waqf Board's property, but it's a property of Hindu temple. They are fighting this case against Waqf Board. So this is a very surprising story happened against the Waqf Board in Uttar Pradesh.
Locals allege that the plot on which the temple stands was sold to departed gangster turned politician Mukhtar Ansari's wife Afsa Ansari in 2016. They claimed some plotting activity was carried out after the transfer of land, but the matter has since been in court pending arbitration.
ये तो सिर्फ शिवालय का ही मंदिर है।
आप बताएं, आप क्या कहेंगे इसके लिए?
ये बहुत पूर्वजों की तरफ से हमारे चला आ रहा है मंदिर, और इसमें वक़्फ़ का कोई सवाल ही नहीं उठता है।
हमको तो ये मैम सर अभी कल ही मालूम हुआ, मोहल्ले वाले बता रहे वक़्फ़ है वक़्फ़ है। वक़्फ़ कुछ नहीं है, जिंदगी भर से देख रहा हूँ मंदिर में पूजा हो रही है, पूजा पाठ होती है, कोई भी त्योहार होता है, सब इसमें 5-6 मंदिर बने हुए हैं। सब भैरव जी का मंदिर, काली जी का मंदिर, दुर्गा जी का मंदिर, हनुमान जी का मंदिर, इतने मंदिर हैं। हम अपने बचपनों से देख रहे हैं, मेरे बाप दादा देखते आ रहे हैं, बाबा तक की हमारे बाप यहाँ आते थे जब बैठते थे, भंडारा होता था। मैं बचपन में इसमें भंडारा खाया हूँ। ये कोई वक़्फ़ की संपत्ति नहीं है, हिंदू समाज की धार्मिक संपत्ति है।
Earlier, your channel had exposed a potential land grab by the Waqf in Karnataka after several farmers alleged pressure to give up land they had rightfully owned and tilled for generations. Amid the Waqf's bid to lay claim to properties on a whim, the anxious question crossing several minds is, what's next on their radar?
Well, this comes days after Badruddin Ajmal made a bizarre claim, and he ignited this entire debate over Waqf. Now, the Madhya Pradesh Waqf Board also makes a bizarre claim. They say that the key government property, which also includes a state police headquarters and the Hamidiya hospital, they say that it is built on the Waqf property. In fact, the matter has reached the court. The litigation continues. Here is a ground report coming in from the state of Madhya Pradesh.
हमने 15 साल 16 साल में रहा हूँ, हर तरफ एक ही आवाज था कि पार्लियामेंट भी खुद पूरा का पूरा इलाका यही वक्फ के प्रॉपर्टी के ऊपर बनाया गया।
The Waqf Board's mission acquisition has started across India. Days after Badruddin Ajmal made startling claims, now Madhya Pradesh Waqf Board alleged the several prominent government properties across the state, including the state police headquarters, have been built on Waqf land. The Waqf